You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
Well, now on Fox 17 News This Morning, a man charged with 2 Robertson County murders this weekend has now been identified. We've got the latest in this case.
Metro Police say a University of Missouri student has been missing in Nashville since Friday. Coming up, hear from his family and the details.
And Metro Police arrested a man accused of kidnapping and assaulting a woman. We're going to tell you exactly how they were able to track him down. Thank you for joining us here on Fox 17 News This Morning. Just after 4 a.m. on this Tuesday morning, I'm Justin McFarland. A Missouri family is now searching for their loved one after the University of Missouri student Riley Strain disappeared while visiting Nashville over the weekend. Fox 17 News' Karen Aguilar live for us this morning in front of Luke's Bryant bar there in downtown. That is the last place where he was seen. Karen, what is the family saying this morning?
Good morning. Riley Strain's friends say he was visiting town with his fraternity brothers when he stumbled into this bar. They then say he was kicked out for being too drunk and hasn't been seen since. Riley is a University of Missouri student. He is reported to have been walking back to his hotel several blocks away at the Tempo, but instead it seems he went in the wrong direction. Riley's cell phone last pinged near Public Square Park, close to the river. His parents drove from Missouri to Nashville since he went missing on Friday to search for him. This is what his stepfather had to say. Take a listen.
This is definitely the worst nightmare. Riley talks to us, whether it's me or to his mom. He talks to his mom 3 or 4 times a day. I mean, it's for him to go this long without talking is not normal by any means.
Police say they are working on getting surveillance videos from businesses here on Broadway and the surrounding area. They are asking anyone with information they've seen Riley to please contact police. Reporting live on Broadway, Karen Aguilar, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
4:02, your time to waking up on a Tuesday. One more cold start here to this week, and then that'll be it for the next 7 days. Temperatures in the 30s. We're going to have a little frost, kind of like yesterday. Setup is very similar when it comes to how it's going to feel getting out the door, but this afternoon, even warmer than yesterday. We're talking about it all morning long. Just get past the first few hours, and then the afternoon turns very nice very quickly. Tons of sunshine again. Temperatures above the 70-degree mark today through the end of the week. Rain chances, though, they're going to arrive on Thursday. A couple little hit-and-miss showers, and then some heavy, steadier rainfall moves in for your Friday. We'll be starting off right now. We're still holding on to 40 in Nashville. Temperatures mainly in the 30s, and they're going to drop throughout the next 3 hours. Sunrise still about 3 hours away from right now, so keep that in mind. We're going to get colder before we get warmer throughout the morning hours. Lunchtime, though, might be one of those days to go outside and not necessarily be indoors. 57 at 11, 62 degrees at noon, 65 at 1 p.m. Very nice afternoon. Those temperatures keep going up. We will be near 70 around 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Next weather maker we're going to talk about here in a few minutes, though, those hit-and-miss showers on Thursday. Light rainfall, not a washout, but steady rain for Friday. Good news is no severe weather, but we'll track the timing of it, specifically hour by hour, and how much rain we could see by the weekend.
Steer clear traffic out there for you this morning as we get you started on the north side. That's going to be I-65 at the Fern Avenue overpass there. As you can see, traffic moving along just fine. No big problems there in either direction. We'll let you know if something changes with steer clear traffic, but right now, couldn't ask for better conditions if you're trying to get out the door. Let's go to Operation Crime and Justice. As Metro Police have now arrested a man who's accused of kidnapping and assaulting a woman he knew. Police say that it was 24-year-old James Greer who was last seen leaving a gas station on Old Hickory Boulevard and fighting with the woman in the car. Now, the woman's family was able to track her down using her location. Police followed alongside. Police officers found a pistol that was thrown out of the car on 13th Avenue South and Broadway. Police caught up with Greer as he was trying to run away. The woman had major injuries to her face and was taken to a local hospital. Greer is facing multiple charges, including especially aggravated kidnapping. An update this morning as Springfield police say that a man is now facing homicide charges in the shooting death of 2 women happened on Sunday. Now, the women were found in a were found shot in a parked car on Sunday afternoon. This is video of the scene there on Pine Circle. This is from Smoky Bar News. Police say that it was a 26-year-old Monterey Vontez Johnson from Nashville who is charged in this case. He's being held in the Robertson County Jail. Well, coming up, the man accused of shooting 2 women and a child in South Nashville and then ending his own life before police arrive has now been identified. We've got updates in this investigation.
Neighborhood.
You can see her with the bat in her hand.
You're a moron.
That's not me.
Judge Judy. Tomorrow at 4 on Fox 17.
.08 is the time. Metro Police have now identified the man accused of shooting 2 women and a child in South Nashville before ending his own life. Police say that the gunman was 25-year-old Emilio Ramirez Lopez. They say that Lopez shot his 31-year-old ex-girlfriend and her 7-year-old son. The ex-girlfriend's 21-year-old cousin was also shot. Police say that the 31-year-old is in critical condition, while her son and the 21-year-old woman are in stable condition. Police say that the 7-year-old told officers that the woman left the apartment to take out the trash. Lopez knocked and then came in and started to shoot when the women returned from the trash dumpster. The investigation is now ongoing. The president of a Cincinnati area Catholic high school has been arrested in Nashville at a bar. This is after he was kicked out of that bar 6 times in one night. Now, court papers say that Metro Police were called to the 1230 Club on Saturday because James Marshall Hisdew was reportedly following women around and making them uncomfortable. Security had already removed him from the bar 6 times that night. He was arrested when he came back yet again. Hisdew is now facing charges, including disorderly conduct. The Archdiocese of Cincinnati sent a press release saying that he is now on administrative leave from his high school. Let's get to Greg Bulbis. He's standing by with a look at your forecast.
Time right now is 4:09. We are looking ahead to Thursday and Friday, timing out the next chance for rain between now and then. It is going to be carefree and 70s this afternoon and tomorrow. Thursday, still a small chance that we get rain here. There will be a few little light showers that pop up on the radar. It's not a rain all day situation for anyone by any means. Just know there will be a few drops out there and a few uses of the windshield wipers at best. Friday, little different story here. Steadier rainfall moves in. So what does it look like on the map, on future track, hour by hour? To give some visual to it, well, here's today and tomorrow, just letting it roll. Actually, one little thing to talk about. Southern Kentucky, listen up. Tomorrow there is a chance you could see an isolated pop-up shower right in the middle of the afternoon. Everyone else staying dry. And then we get into our Thursday. This is Thursday, even as early as 9 a.m. Little areas of the greenish gray, which we always know means very light rainfall, a couple of sprinkles here and there. 4 p.m. might even fire off a decent shower or two, but you can see most of the day is going to be on the drier side. Doppler radar completely dry as well. Now, what we're going to do here coming up in the forecast in about 5 minutes from right now is take a look at the extended forecast with much more depth, because we do have a cool down after our rain moves out, and I will give you some preliminary rainfall totals leading into Friday itself and Saturday.
Steer clear traffic out there for you this morning. Let's get a good look here at what's going on I-40 at Dawson Pike out there near the airport. As you can see, traffic moving along really nicely. No big problems out there so far. Things will and can change, of course. We got you covered with steer clear traffic. Just keep in mind, it is spring break out there this week for Metro, so that means 80,000 less people out there on the roads as a result. Well, coming up, the intensity in gang violence in Haiti is going up. That's why the Prime Minister says he will resign, but not quite yet.
Wasn't going to take care of anything. I luckily had a friend who's already dealt with Bart Durham that felt that he was very taken care of. And it was the same day that somebody got back to me. Nikki really did pull me through that, made it feel like I wasn't alone.
4:13 is the time. Live look there over Lower Broadway. You can see the streets have been cleaned as they get set for yet another action-filled week. Always something going on down there on Lower Broadway. I'm sure the Predators will be in action. There's also lots of concerts taking place. We're going to give you more details about all of that as the morning goes on. Let's shift our attention to news from overseas. That includes down in the Caribbean. This is where the Haitian Prime Minister Ariel Henry has been forced to resign as his country of Haiti continues to descend into chaos. Deadly gang violence is rampant across the capital. Now, officials with the regional group of CARICOM says that Ariel Henry submitted his resignation late last night. This came just hours after regional leaders, including the United States, met in Jamaica to discuss the framework for a political transition. Henry had secured support from Kenya to try and bring in some troops to help fight the gang violence. It's not clear exactly when those troops would actually arrive, though. Henry's advisor told CNN earlier that the prime minister would leave his role once an interim government is formed. Let's bring it back to Nashville. On Operation Crime and Justice, a South Nashville neighborhood is on edge. This is after an armed robbery in broad daylight over the weekend. Now, police have arrested 27-year-old Juliet Shields and 19-year-old Samarian Shields. This is Saturday afternoon, after police say that they held a man at gunpoint in the parking lot of an apartment complex off of Twin Oaks Drive. You can see some of the documents there. Police say they took off with Shields, the victim's belongings. The two men have lengthy criminal records. Julia Shields has a track record going back several years, including prior aggravated robbery charges where he was found guilty. In the meantime, Samarian was free on a $36,000 bond on other charges at the time of this particular arrest. Now, the advocates for the victims, with voices like Vernon Wyatt, says that some of these things need to change with the bond system.
Does that person have a record? If they do, and they've been before the court numerous times, that tells the whole story. That's their normal, and until they have an intervention, it's going to continue.
Both men are being held in the Metro Jail on a $75,000 bond. Julius is due in court later this morning. Fox 17 News crews plan to be there. In national news, a man who blew the whistle on Boeing has died over the weekend. This news comes as the Justice Department has now launched a criminal investigation into the Alaskan Airlines door blowout that we've all seen. Now, the whistleblower, John Barnett, died in Charleston, South Carolina over the weekend from what the coroners say appears to be a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Now, Barnett worked for Boeing for 32 years. He told the BBC back in 2019 that Boeing workers had deliberately been using substandard parts in production. The BBC reported that Barnett was in Charleston, South Carolina for legal interviews as part of a lawsuit against Boeing. Charleston police are now investigating his death. Tennessee's State House has now advanced a bill that would get rid of state and local grocery tax. It is now headed to the House Finance Subcommittee. Nashville Democrats Representative Afton Bain and Senator Charlene Oliver introduced the bill last November. Weeks ago, volunteers headed to grocery stores collecting signatures in support of this bill. The lawmakers say pairing the bill with corporate tax reform would help make up for the lost revenue. Later today, Senator Oliver is presenting the bill to the Senate Finance Subcommittee. We'll tell you how it goes. In the meantime, let's get to Greg Bobus. He's standing by with a look at your forecast here. Greg.
Waking up here a little cold again, but yesterday afternoon was gorgeous. And today even better, even warmer. And just as much sun, no humidity. So we'll take it.
Nice.
But let's talk about maybe you're catching a flight this morning, early morning flight there out of BNA. What does the forecast give you here the next couple of hours? 42 degrees all the way through 9 o'clock. And if it's an afternoon flight, 62 at noon, 69 degrees at 3 p.m. And we're not going to have any rain here locally that will mess with anything. Watch where your destination is or where your arrivals are coming from. That would be the only hitch we could have in our flights later on today. Taking a look at what we're tracking later in the week, Thursday into Friday, that's when the scattered rain moves in. Now, Thursday, not a big deal. Friday, really still not a big deal either, but 1 to 2 inches of rainfall will come down over that 48-hour time frame for us. Into the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, cooler, but also trending much drier, which is good news. We're not working through a really big deal, but definitely some rain to end the week that could slow you down. And here's what it does with our temperatures. Today through Friday, really nice. 71 degrees today, 75 tomorrow, up near 80 on Thursday. Showers, though, there will be a few isolated showers out there. Most of that activity ramps up very late in the day, and then into your Friday, steady rainfall, maybe a thunderstorm or two, but absolutely no indicators right now of severe weather. Temperatures drop at night. Look at the next 3, though. They'll be in the 50s, right near 60, and then we go back to the 40s and eventually the 30s. About a week from now, you'll be waking up even colder than right now with temperatures that don't even make it out of the 50s. So enjoy the next 4 days while they last.
Steer clear traffic for you this morning. Let's get you out to I-40 at White Bridge Road. This is over in West Nashville. You can see, the trucks are sleeping there on the shoulder of the road. My bad, didn't mean to disturb. But there is quite a few trucks out there this morning, at least 5 that we can see here on our screen. Other than that, we're doing fine out there so far as your drive is concerned. No major accidents shutting down any of the Nashville interstates, at least not yet. We'll be sure to let you know exactly if anything happens with Steer Clear Traffic. We got you covered live and local through 9. Former President Donald Trump wants to delay his hush money trial until after the Supreme Court rules on his claim of presidential immunity. Now, the former president claims he should be immune from prosecution over his alleged efforts to overturn the 2020 election because he was president at the time. Now, he argues that some of the alleged acts in the hush money case overlap with his time in the White House as well. Now, the hush money trial is currently scheduled for March 25th. The Supreme Court is set to hear arguments on the immunity case exactly 1 month later. Now, by the way, the former president has pled not guilty to 34 felony counts involving falsifying business records. He also denies having an affair with the adult film star Stormy Daniels. Well, coming up, the Tennessee Titans may be replacing Derrick Henry. We're going to tell you about the candidate that they just signed, that man right there, who will be coming to Nashville. And the 2 Tennessee Volunteer players who are not.
Use the best alignment equipment to straighten out your steering for the best price in town.
Visit budgetbrakes.com. Brakes starting at just $100. Alignment starting at $59.99.
4:23 is the time in sports news. The Tennessee Titans could be moving on from their star running back Derrick Henry. The Associated Press says that the Titans have come to terms with the former Dallas Cowboys running back Tony Pollard. Now, our Fox 17 News photojournalist Madison Spraker is live for us over there from Nissan Stadium. You can see right there, home of the Tennessee Titans, at least for now, as they're building that brand new dome. But it's also the place where Derrick Henry reigned supreme for the last 8 seasons, racking up 9,500 yards with the Titans. However, those days could be coming to an end as the Titans have now agreed to a brand new deal. It's a 3-year deal worth $24 million with Tony Pollard, formerly of the Dallas Cowboys, although no deal can officially be made until tomorrow. Now, a little bit more about Pollard. He racked up 1,000 yards over the last 2 seasons with the Dallas Cowboys, 1,000 yards in each of the last 2 seasons, I should say. He had 6 touchdowns last year. By the way, he's got Tennessee connections. He went to the University of Memphis. He also went to high school in Memphis, so it's a bit of a homecoming. In the meantime, Derrick Henry was a 2nd-round pick for the Titans in 2016, and he is a free agent for the very first time in his career. We'll see. Basketball news this morning. The SEC basketball tournament tips off here in Nashville coming up tomorrow. And there are several Tennessee stars that have received big awards for their performances so far this year. Now we're talking about star Dalton Knecht. He is taking home the SEC Player of the Year, and rightfully so. He averaged 25.5 points per game in the SEC. And just last week, he set a game high for himself with 40 points, even though they lost against Kentucky. And for the Volunteers, it was Sakai Ziegler who was awarded the SEC Defensive Player of the Year. Congratulations to that young man, as the Volunteers will be playing basketball coming up Friday here in Nashville.
425, looking at your forecast here and leading us through today and taking us straight toward the weekend. Taking a look, Doppler radar, nothing on there right now, but I will be tracking a few showers Thursday and Friday as you're waking up. So enjoy these calm starts. Though it's cold, this is the afternoon. After a frosty start with temperatures that'll be in the 30s here for the next 4 or 5 hours, we'll work our way back up to 71 this afternoon. Mainly sunny. It's not going to be a good allergy day until we can get a good soaking rain. It's going to be pollen here that we have to deal with when we're heading outside each of the next couple of days. Our sunrise this morning is at 7:03. Sun sets at 6:52 later on this evening. This weekend, colder. Not terribly colder, but colder. We'll be up near 80 degrees on Thursday. Look at your Saturday. 66, not bad. 61 degrees on Sunday. The mornings will also be cooler. This morning is in the 30s. The next 2 to 3 mornings after today are going to be in the 50s, if not close to 60 degrees. So just, a light jacket, maybe a hoodie for the weekend, and you should be good to go from when you wake up straight through sunset.
Steer clear traffic out there for you. Let's take a quick look at what we're dealing with on I-65 at Armory Drive. This is on the south side of town. As you can see, traffic there moving along without issue. We're doing fine, accident-free out there on the roads and on the interstates, at least for now. That is always subject to change a little bit. But for right now, we're doing good. We'll let you know what we've got going on with Steer Clear Traffic live through 9. Well, coming up, lawmakers debate a tax change that some are concerned would give big companies a tax break. We're going to tell you how Governor Lee's company could be involved.
Coming up in a few minutes.
Digestive health, yeah, I'm doing it. 3. Probiotics by the billions, I'm not new to it. Activia, your gut is where it all begins.
You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
Coming up now on Fox 17 News This Morning, a college student from Missouri has been missing for days in Nashville. We're going to tell you how his friends and family are now doing a search for him. And a local meat market tangled in a battle with a neighbor. We're going to tell you what community members are now saying about this.
And waking up this morning cold one more time, but spring feels are here. How long they last before the next good dose of rain moves into Middle Tennessee.
Thank you so much for joining us here on Fox 17 News this morning. I'm Justin McFarland. Just after 4:30 or just around 4:30 here on this Tuesday, we are continuing our coverage as a Missouri family is frantically searching for their 22-year-old son who has not been seen since Friday. This is after he left a downtown Nashville bar. We're talking about Riley Strain's fraternity brothers say that he left the bar on 3rd Avenue here. We're talking about him leaving Luke Bryant's bar on 3rd Avenue right down here. Okay. Right up here, this is his last location, and then went walking along 3rd Avenue, apparently right down here, extremely drunk, according to his fraternity brothers. Now, he was last seen walking back to the hotel several blocks away, right down in this area here, very close to Bridgestone Arena. But instead, it appears he went in the wrong direction. Now, Riley Strand's cell phone last pinged near the Public Square Park, very close to the Cumberland River. The Public Square Park, of course, right up here in this location, right up top here, where the Musicians Walk of Fame and all of that is here, very close to the Woodland Street Bridge. Fox 17 News' Karen Aguilar is live for us this morning in front of Luke Bryant's bar just off of 3rd Avenue to tell us more about his disappearance.
Good morning, Justin. Well, Ryan Strain's family tells Fox 17 News that it's been a nightmare since he's been missing. Riley's friends say that they were last with him at this bar on Broadway. And as you mentioned, he was kicked out for being too drunk. That's him there on your screen. Riley is a senior at the University of Missouri. He is 6 feet and 5 inches. He told his friends he'd walk back to their hotel, the Tempo by Hilton, about 5 blocks away, and he was kicked out, but they didn't hear from him again. Riley Strain's cell phone last pinged near Public Square Park, close to the river. His parents drove from Missouri to Nashville since he went missing to search for him. They are doing everything they can to find him. Take a listen.
We've walked the area. We're waiting on surveillance camera footage to kind of see where they've got him tracked at throughout town. We're just really waiting to try to finish piecing the puzzle together.
If you have any information on where Riley might be, you are asked to call Metro Police. Reporting live on Broadway, Karen Aguilar, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Thank you, Karen. Continuing coverage on a bill that would eliminate state business tax and allow companies to get nearly $2 billion in refunds. Now, Democrats say they have a better plan, and they're now calling on Governor Lee to say exactly how much Lee Company would get under this particular proposal.
The working families of Tennessee deserve to know whether or not Governor Bill Lee and his company or companies stand to financially benefit from his proposed franchise tax cut.
Right now, Tennessee companies pay a yearly tax on their net worth or value of their property that they own, whichever is greater. Governor Lee wants to get rid of the property part of that, saying that it's a constitutional problem that could lead to lawsuits.
Without legislation, the amount at issue increases by up to $400 million every year while the case is working its way through the court system.
Governor Lee says he has no knowledge of his company's operations or business decisions because he put the company in a blind trust once he was elected to the governor's office. The Senate Finance Committee is set to vote later today on that franchise tax bill.
4:33, checking in on your forecast here, getting up on a Tuesday and getting moving here. What is new this morning? Well, we're returning to great times. Yesterday morning was cold, this morning cold, but think back to the afternoon if you walked out, and we had temperatures in the 60s. Today, we're going to easily be in the low 70s this afternoon. A good portion of the afternoon. Sunglasses, winter coats for the morning. It's a very strange pattern we're in here with these cold mornings where you have to bundle up, and then a few hours later you walk outside and you go, I could be in a t-shirt right now. That's how we're working with this one. Tons of sunshine, too, so don't worry about rain. And whenever you see the Broadway camera this early in the morning and we haven't had rain recently, you think, why in the world is it wet? They hose things down at night just to make sure we're all good to go. 40 degrees. Clear night leading into a clear morning, but our sunrise is not until we get into 7 o'clock. And I keep stressing here, temperature's going to climb very quickly. As the planes are climbing, so will the temps. Not going to be a problem here getting out the door, traveling locally. I know a lot of schools are on spring break. Not everyone is, so we'll look at your bus stop forecast shortly. For kids, we're still getting the backpacks together later today. 71 degrees this afternoon, 75 tomorrow. The best part of that stretch is that overnight tonight, we're only down to 50 degrees. So this little streak of warmth will continue until Thursday into Friday. Then we're tracking some rain coming up in your Code Red forecast.
Steer clear traffic out there for you this morning. Let's get a good look here at I-40 at Dallas and Pike out there near the airport. You can see it there for yourself. We're doing okay. No big problems out there so far. North, south, east, or west. We are accident free out there on the interstates. We'll continue to follow things for you live and local through 9.
It's a neighborhood staple.
An East Nashville woman is now suing a restaurant and market next to her home. She calls Roy's Meat Service a nuisance because she can't stand the smell of all the grilled meats. Now, the Roy family has owned this business for about a decade, and the neighbors sued last January. The case summary identifies the complaint of Natalie Castillo. A GoFundMe page has been set up for the Roys, saying that she started complaining about the smell of the meat back in June of 2021, about a year and a half before that lawsuit.
And I think it's very unfair to them to have to do that. You know, they've had this business, they do things for the community, and for people to just come in and put them through that is just wrong.
The GoFundMe has raised $29,000 for the business so far. Well, coming up, a protest vote movement in the Democratic primaries is now gaining momentum. We're going to tell you what this could mean for President Biden. And a settlement in the law that changes what teachers...
With 27 competitors.
This is the biggest tournament of champions ever.
Weeknights at 5 on Fox 17.
Welcome back to Fox 17 News this morning. That's a live look over there at Nissan Stadium. And yes, we know the Tennessee Titans have been making moves. They've added a running back, a cornerback, and a brand new center. But they've also started construction over there of the brand new Nissan Stadium, a $2.2 billion dome that will rise. But it doesn't mean Nissan Stadium, the current one, is over. The Titans will still play football there for another 3 years. Plus, they've got the motocross, the Monster Energy Supercross event coming up there. It's a motorcycle dirt bike kind of event that's coming up here in April. So still lots of things happening over there at Nissan Stadium. Well, let's talk about movement at the ballot box, protecting President Biden's support for Israel in his war, with the war with Hamas that appears to be spreading right now. It comes after more than 100,000 Michigan Democrat primary voters cast a ballot for uncommitted last month. Super Tuesday results show in 5 states where similar ballot opinions or options were available, about 263,000 voters also selected uncommitted. In Minnesota, 1 in 5 Democrat lawmakers marked the uncommitted option, a higher percentage than what they found in Michigan. Now, the Biden campaign says that the president shares the goal for an end of the violence in the Middle East and is, quote, working tirelessly to that end. Let's talk about what's going on down in Florida, as the state of Florida has now reached a settlement with plaintiffs who challenged legislation dubbed the Don't Say Gay law. If you remember, this was in the news quite a bit just a few months ago. The agreement keeps the law in place but clears up some of the language in that law. It says that students and teachers can speak freely about sexual orientation and gender identity in Florida schools as long as it's not a part of formal teaching. The law was signed in by Governor Ron DeSantis back in 2022.
441. Quick look at your forecast getting out the door, and there's nothing slowing you down with the weather. It's just like yesterday morning, a little bit cold, but nothing popping up here that's messing with our visibility. We mentioned many kids on spring break this week, but not every school district. So if you're getting up, we're packing some lunches, we're getting the backpacks ready. First bell, still cold, 38 degrees. After school, 69 degrees, right near 70. A good day to get outside and enjoy the weather once that last bell does ring. Now, wash or wait. What are we going to do when it comes to the car situation today? I would say wash today, wash tomorrow. I wouldn't be doing it later in the week, though. Rain does move back in. That's our next weather maker. A few hit and miss light rain showers. Those move in on Thursday. Not really a big deal. Friday, steadier, consistent rainfall moves in. 1 to 2 inches of rain possible by the end of the week. Good news is no severe weather expected with either one of those days taking us toward the weekend.
Steer clear traffic, everyone. Let's just get you straight to your drive times this morning. Let's get you to Mount Juliet to downtown at 26 minutes, Murfreesboro at 48 minutes, Franklin at 25 minutes on that drive. Of course, we'll continue to watch things for you. Keep in mind, it is spring break, and that means a lot of things are going to be a little bit lighter than usual when it comes to traffic. We got you covered either way. Steer clear traffic live through 9. Well, coming up, a new initiative aims to change how Tennessee's legislator handles sexual harassment complaints. The unusual duo that is backing this bill. And
help you eat and speak with confidence at a price that's affordable. So if you think you can't afford dental implants, think again.
Go ahead and smile.
Let's go to politics. A bill that would put the state attorney general in charge of sexual harassment complaints at the legislature. Right now, those complaints are investigated by House and Senate members, and critics say they want to try and take the politics out of it. So this is what they are suggesting. The bill is sponsored by a rare combination of House members. Republican Todd Warner of Chapel Hill and Democrat Afton Bain of Nashville. They want to appoint a special, impartial liaison to the Attorney General's office to handle these types of claims from start to finish.
This bill will create transparency. It will create a fair process for the accused, but most of all, it will protect the victim.
This is a crucial step that is driven by a shared commitment to ensuring a transparent and impartial review process free from the influence of legislative leadership.
Now, last year, State Representative Scotty Campbell of Mountain City was forced to resign after 2 interns accused him of sexual harassment. The investigation was done in secret, and members are not allowed to comment on their particular deliberations. Musician and lead singer of the band Raspberries, Eric Carmen, has died at 74 years old. Carmen's wife announced that the singer's death happened on his official website just last night. There was no cause of death given. After frontmanning the Raspberries, Carmen eventually went on to have a solo career with classics like All By Myself and Hungry Eyes. Carmen was born in Cleveland, Ohio back in 1949. He leaves behind his wife, Amy Murphy, along with his 2 children. As we move towards the general election, President Biden is laying out his economic vision for his second term if he is reelected. While many companies are complaining about high prices, Mr. Biden says large companies are to blame. Fox News' Connor Hansen has more.
I'm here in New Hampshire to talk about the budget I released today that would what I think help in a big way.
President Biden's budget plan calls for expanding social programs and increasing taxes for wealthy people and corporations.
I will protect and strengthen Social Security and Medicare and make the wealthy begin to pay their fair share.
While the economy is doing well by some major metrics and inflation has cooled, Americans still feel like they're paying a premium. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the cost of things like food, housing, and electricity have all increased. President Biden, in part, has been blaming shrinkflation. It's when the price of items stays the same while the size or quantity noticeably shrink. The White House even retweeting the Cookie Monster, who complained of smaller cookies.
He pointed out his cookies are getting smaller, paying the same price. I was stunned when I found out that's what actually happened.
Whether it's the price of cookies or gas and mortgage rates, experts believe they will be major factors when voters head to the polls.
The Biden campaign is losing constituencies that they normally rely upon because those are the constituents, Liz, that have been hardest hit by Bidenomics.
The Labor Department plans to release a key inflation report Tuesday morning. Inflation is not expected to rise significantly, but it could mean the Fed will not be cutting interest rates for a few months. In New York, Connor Hansen, Fox News.
A woman in Nebraska is accused of exploiting a glitch at a gas pump to get free gas for the last 6 months. According to the report, the woman was able to get more than $27,000 worth of gas at a station in Lincoln, Nebraska without paying for it. Police say the gas pumps received a software update that had a bit of a glitch in it, which allowed customers to pay for gas for free by swiping a rewards card twice. Police also say another person paid the woman to get the gas at a discount price. Now, the glitch has since been fixed. The woman is charged with 1 count of theft by unlawful taking of $5,000 or more. Oh boy, it's so tempting, but it's not worth it.
Not worth it.
Let's get to Greg. He's got to look at the forecast. It will be worth it a little bit later, especially this week.
That it will, yeah. Yesterday morning we talked about how it was not going to be a good start. Give it a couple hours. Just push through. Afternoon was great, and today kind of starts the same way and ends even better. So here we are. Fast forwarding, though, to when things kind of push us back to reality for the upcoming weekend. We have 2 rain chances Thursday and Friday, and you can see that the rain chance on Friday is a much greater and more prolonged chance for rain. Thursday, a couple little pop-up showers are going to be on the radar, on and off with the cloud cover throughout the morning and afternoon. Your Friday, Taking a look, morning hours, waking up, tracking showers, and up to 1 to 2 inches of rain possible over those 2 days. Most of that is coming down on Friday itself. Today and tomorrow, nothing on future track. We're aiming for a high of 71 later today. Complete sunshine. Tomorrow, though, if you're in southern Kentucky, you may end up popping up with one of these tiny little showers. Keep that in mind. Other than that, we're keeping it dry and will be even warmer. Middle 70s tomorrow, upper 70s on Thursday. But Thursday is the day, as I mentioned, there will be a few showers that track in. We're west of I-65 before 9 a.m., and then a few of those will trickle into our eastern counties, and a few decent downpours can't be ruled out. Right in the peak heating of the day, we're up near 80 on Thursday, so that is enough fuel to add to the tank to give us a couple of showers. But again, Friday being the much rainier day of the two. Top of the radar showing nothing for us right now. 7-day forecast, beautiful. 71 today, 75 tomorrow. 78 degrees on your Thursday, and then cooler for the weekend, but not by any means a bad weekend, just not quite as warm as these temperatures we're seeing throughout the rest of this week.
Circular traffic out there for you this morning at 4:50. Quick look here at I-40 at 46th Avenue over there in the west side of town. Coming through the Nations, you can see there traffic's moving along very nicely. No big problems over there on that particular side of town, at least not yet. Now, Metro Schools is out on break this week, so there's a lot less traffic on the road. If you're within the city of Nashville, just know those school zones, things like that, not operating right now. Well, listen to this. Johnsonville is recalling more than 35,000 pounds of turkey sausage. This is after customers found pieces of rubber in their food. The turkey sausage is sold around the country, and while no one has suffered any major health problems, the company is urging people to see their doctor if they suspect the turkey sausage may have caused them any injury. The recall product has a best buy date of May the 17th and May 18th. If people have the turkey sausage in their refrigerator, they should throw it away or take it back to their local store for a refund. Reddit is getting ready to go public. The social media networking site revealed their plans yesterday. The share prices are expected to start between $31 and $34 when it becomes public for its initial offering. That's expected to happen sometime later this month. Now, Reddit plans to offer 22 million shares of the company that will help it raise as much as $748 million. Reddit has seen a 21% jump in revenue since last year. The company has not turned a profit in nearly 2 decades of operation. But coming up, an initiative that could give some people in Davidson County a great excuse to make it a little easier on mowing this spring.
Try Dulcolax Chewy Fruit Bites for fast and gentle constipation relief in as little as 30 minutes, making your good morning even better with Dulcolax.
4:55 is the time. Live look there on Lower Broadway as we get you set for the SEC men's basketball tournament that tips off tomorrow, not too far away there at Bridgestone Arena. By the way, there are other concerts and things happening downtown as well. For instance, over at the Ryman Auditorium later this week, if you like a little funk, Casey and the Sunshine Band will be here. All right, that's coming up on Thursday night. Always something going on here in Nashville. Almost 2/3 of fourth graders in the United States are struggling to read at grade level. That's why our Fox 17 parent company, Sinclair Broadcasting, is partnering up with Reading is Fundamental to support children's literacy. Just scan the QR code right there at the corner of your screen. That will take you to a site where you can donate to our virtual book drive. In your community, a program is now letting homeowners grow out their grass this spring. The Cumberland River Compact is partnering up with Metro Nashville. They say that letting the lawn grow for a month improves the long-term health of that lawn and helps the environment as well. Plus, if you get a yard sign that says you're taking part in the No Mow Month, you will not get in trouble with the city for letting your grass grow unless it gets a foot or higher then you may have to do something. But they're hoping people will take part coming up here this April. Let's talk to Greg. Temperatures like the ones we're going to see a little bit later this week are certainly going to help that grass grow.
Oh, absolutely. And then we're going to get some rain on top of that to kind of really get things going. I bet you your lawn is going to be very tall by the time Monday and Tuesday roll around. 71 degrees today. Frosty start to the morning. Just like yesterday, the afternoon rebound is perfect. Nearly a perfect afternoon, no humidity. The one thing you'll notice, pollen counts are up here for us. A little bit rough on the allergies this morning, and that will continue until we get some decent rain on Friday. Sunrise this morning, 7:03. Sun will set at 6:52. This weekend, not nearly as warm as today, tomorrow, and Thursday. We'll be back in the 60s. 66 on Saturday, 61 on Sunday. We'll call it much cooler than this week, but by no means cold. Bursts of some sunshine both days, but a stray shower is definitely possible in the cards for both of those days. Don't plan for rain, just know you may want to have an umbrella just in case. And what you can also do if you're making those plans to be outdoors and you're not going to be right in front of a TV screen or your computer, you can have the Fox 17 Code Red weather app, and you can check that radar periodically if you start seeing a couple clouds that are rolling in or moving a little bit slower than the typical daily pace of a nice bright day. Taking a look at your forecast going ahead in the 5 o'clock half hour. We'll break it all down together when it comes to your 7-day, and we'll also look at future track and time out the rain chances on Friday and how much we're going to see.
Still clear traffic for you this morning at 4:58. Quick look outside at I-40 at Fester's Lane, just east of downtown. We are doing just fine out there so far. No major tie-ups anywhere to tell you about here. Of course, things can change within a moment's notice. They could be changing right now for all we know. We'll continue to keep an eye out there on the roads, let you know what we find with Steer Clear Traffic live through 9. Take a look at this. This is Waylon the dog and his brand new group of best friends. The Russell County Search and Rescue in Kentucky got a call around 3 a.m. on Saturday that Waylon was trapped. Now, the pup had gotten stuck on a bluff that's around 170 feet tall. Rescuers had to wait for the sun to come up in order to get up there and rescue Waylon, but they did. When daybreak happened, they used a rope to lower a rescuer down to him. Then they were able to pull the rescuer and Waylon back up to safety. The pooch was then reunited with his owner. Come on, Waylon, stay off the bluff, but good boy. A new study has now found that more than a third of teenagers think they spend way too much time on their phones. Now, around 40% of 1,400 teenagers surveyed say that they log too many hours on their smartphone and social media. This is the teenagers saying this about themselves. Now, the same percentage say they needed to cut back, but they admitted they feel anxious whenever they are without their phones. Just over half of those surveyed are happy with their screen time, and as well as their time usage, and they feel no need to unplug. I'm sure parents may feel otherwise. Our 5 o'clock hour starts right now.
You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
Now on Fox 17 News this Tuesday morning, a man charged in 2 Robertson County murders identified. We're sharing the very latest updates for this case.
Police say a University of Missouri student has been missing in Nashville since Friday. Coming up, hear from his family and the details.
And Metro Police tracked down the man accused of kidnapping and assaulting a woman. We're going to tell you how they managed to find him. Thank you so much for joining us here on a busy Tuesday morning for Fox 17 News. I'm Erica Glover. Jennifer Waddell has the morning off. We're going to begin your Tuesday morning by sharing the top 3 international headlines that you need to know before heading out the door, including how the Prime Minister of Haiti says he is going to resign today. This also comes as the country is in chaos. Deadly gang violence is rampant in the capital city there. When we talk about primary contests happening today, President Biden and former President Donald Trump could clinch the nominations of their respective parties. So that's certainly a story we are following here at home. And a ship carrying humanitarian aid to Gaza has deported a port city over in Cyprus. Here in Middle Tennessee, we have a Missouri family that is searching for their loved one. The mother of University of Missouri student Riley Stranum has said her son disappeared while visiting Nashville over the weekend. Fox 17 News' Karen Aguilar joining us live on Lower Broadway. And Karen, the 22-year-old was last seen in that area. He's about 6'5", and his mom says you cannot miss him, correct?
That's correct. He's pretty tall. Officials say he was last seen wearing brown shoes, blue jeans, and a white and black button-up shirt. But the last we checked with Metro Police, he still hasn't been found. Riley's friends say that we're with him the night of the disappearance here at this bar, Luke Bryan's on Broadway. But Riley was then kicked out. Riley is a senior at the University of Missouri. They say his friends that he was reported to have been walking back to his hotel several blocks away at the Tempo, but it said it seems he went in the wrong direction. Riley's cell phone last pinged near Public Square Park, close to the river. His parents drove from Missouri to Nashville since he went missing to search for him. This is what his stepfather had to say.
This is definitely the worst nightmare. Riley talks to us, whether it's me or to his mom. He talks to his mom 3 or 4 times a day. I mean, it's for him to go this long without talking is not normal by any means.
Metro Police say they are working on obtaining surveillance videos from businesses here on Broadway and the surrounding area. They are asking people if they have any information on where Riley might be to please contact them. Reporting live on Broadway, Karen Aguilar, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
5:03 our time, looking at our forecast, starting off in the 30s this morning, and we're going to be up near 70 later on this afternoon. The 3 things to know in the weather world here today. Last cold morning until next week. We'll go back to the 30s Monday night into Tuesday morning, but until then, everything much warmer to wake up to. Spring feeling afternoon temperatures for sure. That includes the weekend, and we have 4 days in a row that'll hit 70 degrees. Today is one of those all the way through Friday. Heavy rain also arrives later this week, though, especially on Friday itself. Expect 1 to 2 inches of rain to come down before we even hit the weekend. It's needed rain, and it won't give us any severe weather. Taking a look, temperatures are still falling until that sun does come up in 2 hours from now. We're at 34 in Murfreesboro, 39 in Nashville, and 34 in Columbia. Make sure that we're finding a way to have that coat, but also the proper attire for later today. It might even be T-shirts weather right in the middle of the afternoon. Nothing happening visibility-wise, no rain this morning. Coming up in your forecast, we will track that rain that does move in Thursday into Friday and look at your 7-day forecast so you know what we're getting into. All the really good stuff, too, coming up in just a few minutes.
The really good stuff. Greg, thank you so much. At 5:04, do want to do a quick check of your steer clear traffic update for you. We're going to show you a live look. Here you go. I-65 at Trinity Lane. You're not seeing any kind of issues at this moment. No disabled vehicles, no crashes, no brake checks. This is fantastic. We're going to continue checking in on all of your steer clear traffic updates, though, throughout 9 a.m. Keep in mind, Metro schools out for spring break, so you're going to see a lot less congestion out there, but still plenty of schools who are back in action for this week, of course. Let's turn now to Operation Crime and Justice. Metro Police arresting a man who's accused of kidnapping and assaulting a woman he knew. Police say 24-year-old James Greer was last seen leaving a gas station on Old Hickory Boulevard and then fighting a woman in his car. Well, the woman's family was able to track down her location, and the police, they followed behind. Police say that officers found a pistol that was thrown out of that car at 13th Avenue South and Broadway. Police catching up with Greer as he tried to take off running. The woman had major injuries, though, to her face and was taken to the hospital. Greer is now facing serious multiple charges. We also have an update now out of Springfield. That is where police say a man is facing homicide charges for the shooting deaths of 2 women. This happened on Sunday, a tough story to share. The women were found shot in a parked car Sunday afternoon. Now, this video that you're seeing right here on your screen, this was shared by Smoky Barn News. Police say 26-year-old Monray Vontez Johnson is from Nashville and facing charges for that crime. After the break, the man accused of shooting 2 women and a child in South Nashville before ultimately ending his own life, that man has now been identified. So we're going to tell you what's next in this case. 5:08 is the time, and this is a tough story to share, but we do have an update from South Nashville. Now that Metro Police identified the man accused of shooting 2 women and a child before ultimately ending his own life. Police say the gunman was 25-year-old Emilio Ramirez Lopez. Police say Lopez shot his 31-year-old ex-girlfriend, who was in critical condition, and he also shot her 7-year-old son. The ex-girlfriend's 21-year-old cousin also shot there. This investigation, though, is ongoing. The president of a Cincinnati area Catholic high school was arrested at a Nashville bar after being kicked out not once or twice, but 6 times in one night. Yeah, court papers say this man, Metro Police, were called to the 1230 Club on Saturday because James Marshall Hisdew was reportedly following women around and then making them feel uncomfortable. Security removed Hisdew from the bar 6 times, and he was arrested when he came back again. He is now facing disorderly conduct charges, among other things. And the Archdiocese of Cincinnati also says Hisdew is on administrative leave.
5:09 the time for you right now, and the next weather maker is always the big story for us here. We've got a lot of nice weather between now and Thursday, and then things will get a little bit more unsettled hour by hour and day by day. Hit and miss light rain showers for your Thursday. Steady rainfall arrives heading into Friday. That is by far the rainier day of the two. Good news is no severe weather. Can't rule out a thunderstorm, but really not so concerned about anything that we cannot handle or that should give us any damaging wind or even flooding. 1 to 2 inches of rainfall are possible, but it's rain that'll come down at a steady pace to help us out, and we really do need a little bit of it here. We're still trying to dig our way out of a drought we've been in for the better part of 2/3 of a year at this point. Out the door today, 35 degrees your temperature at 6 a.m., 37 at 8 o'clock. Sunglasses again, just like yesterday. Don't let that sun glare get at you. Find them before you head out later today. Sunrise will be at 7:03. In the next check of your Code Red forecast in about 8 minutes from right now, we'll look at your 7-day, and we'll also look at that hour-by-hour timing of Thursday into Friday.
Greg, thank you so much. At 5:10, let's do another check over by the airport, okay? And your Steer Clear traffic update. This is going to be a live look on your screen of, actually, I believe, I-24. No, this is the airport. Just want to make sure here. Yeah, so we're not seeing any backup here in this area right now. This shot looking very, very good. I know I mentioned earlier that folks are on spring break, so we did want to see if there was any kind of backup for this exit because that does tend to happen. But as of right now, the airport exit and the ramp over there looking pretty good. After the break, more international headlines as Haiti faces extreme gang violence in the streets there. So much so that the Prime Minister says he's going to resign, but not quite yet. What has to happen before that can happen? And it may
worsen kidney problems. Living with type 2 diabetes?
Ask about the power of 3 with Ozempic.
Welcome back to Fox 17 News this Tuesday morning. Our photojournalist Madison Spraker giving us a live look from Nissan Stadium. And listen, we are following big sports headlines. The Tennessee Titans could be moving on from star running back Derrick Henry. Yeah, you likely heard this story yesterday, but the Associated Press says the Titans, they have come to terms with ex-Dallas Cowboys running back Tony Pollard. An AP source says Pollard and the Titans agreed yesterday to a 3-year deal worth $24 million. We're going to continue following this story and let you know if there are any more exciting updates when it comes to our Tennessee Titans throughout this Tuesday morning newscast. When we talk about international headlines, though, Haitian Prime Minister over there letting us know that he could resign as his country descends into chaos. We're talking about deadly gang violence that is just rampant in their capital city. So much so that officials now say he has submitted his resignation. This came late last night. It also comes just hours after regional leaders met over in Jamaica to discuss a framework for a political transition. Now, he has secured support from Kenya to bring in troops to help combat the gang violence, but it's not clear when those troops would actually arrive. Advisors telling CNN earlier that the prime minister would leave his role only once an interim government is formed. Back over here in Middle Tennessee, in Operation Crime and Justice, a South Nashville neighborhood is on edge after an armed robbery in broad daylight. It happened over the weekend. Metro Police, though, arresting 27-year-old Juliet Shields and 19-year-old Shamarian Shields later Saturday afternoon, so that's a positive update there. Police say that they held a man at gunpoint in the parking lot of an apartment complex off of Twin Oaks Drive. Police also say they took off with the victim's belongings and that the two men have lengthy criminal records, so we're showing you some of the records right here. Juliet Shields has records going back several years, including prior aggravated robbery charges where he was found guilty. And then Shamarian was free on a $36,000 bond on other charges at the time of that arrest. And now Verna Wyatt, who we speak with, she's with Voices for Victims, wants to see changes to the bond system. Listen.
Does that person have a record? If they do, and they've been before the court numerous times, that tells the whole story. That's their normal, and until they have an intervention, it's going to continue.
Yeah, we talked about that a lot here on Fox 17 News. Here we know that both men are being held on a $75,000 bond, and Julius is due in court later this morning. Fox 17 News plans to be there and bring you the latest update. In national news now, a man who blew the whistle on Boeing died over the weekend. And this news comes as the Justice Department has launched a criminal investigation into the Alaska Airlines door blowouts. Whistleblower John Barnett died over in Charleston, South Carolina over the weekend from what the coroner's office said, quote, appears to be a self-inflicted gunshot wound. He worked for Boeing for 32 years and told the BBC back in 2019 that Boeing workers had deliberately been using substandard parts in production. Yeah, the BBC reported Barnett was in Charleston, though, for legal interviews, all as part of a lawsuit against Boeing. Charleston police, though, are now investigating his death. Well, Tennessee State House advancing a bill that would get rid of state and local grocery tax. It's now headed to the House Finance Subcommittee. Nashville Democrats Representative Afton Ben and Senator Charlene Oliver, they introduced the bill last November. Well, weeks ago, we told you this. Volunteers, they were out and about. They were at grocery stores collecting a lot of signatures in support of this particular bill. The lawmakers say pairing the bill with corporate tax reform would help make up for lost revenue. So later today, here's what you need to know. Later today, Senator Oliver is going to be presenting the bill to a Senate Finance Subcommittee. So, of course, more updates on the way. 5:18 is the time this Tuesday morning. Want to check in with Greg because we're dealing with chilly temperatures, but Greg, a warm-up is on the way. I am ready. Sunblock, shorts, sunglasses.
And a smile.
And a smile.
Add that to it as well. So yeah, it's going to be a great afternoon. Also to all the moms out there that get up and do the 9 to 5 and do the work. And today is National Working Moms Day. Yes. So thank you all for helping us all do our thing.
Ooh, moms need all the claps. That's all I got to say.
You could not be more correct about that one. So taking a look here, your forecast, I'm going to give you all a good day here. This morning, we're starting off with temperatures in the 30s. We have a South Nashville view here, and yes, everything is looking good. There are no visibility problems. This is the camera that usually shows if any fog begins to creep into the downtown area, and we're not going to have any this morning. Let's talk about rain, though. Today, 71 degrees and sunny. Beautiful. Thursday and Friday, not so perfect. 1 to 2 inches of rain come down during that time frame. Scattered showers. It's not going to be a very completely washed out forecast for either of those days, but the more consistent rainfall of the 2 days is going to be on Friday. Cold front moves in, and that will knock down our temperatures going into the upcoming weekend. Keep that in mind as well. A little extra time on your 7-day because there are a lot of moving parts you need to know about. 71 this afternoon, 50 overnight. It will not be nearly as cold tonight, tomorrow night, or Thursday night is what we've been experiencing so far to wake up to on this Monday and Tuesday of this week. High temperature on Thursday, dodging a couple of showers, but 78 degrees, and then that steady rainfall on Friday leads to that cooler weekend of temps that fall back into the 60s.
Steer clear traffic takes us to the north side. This is going to be I-65 at Trinity Lane there north of town. As you can see, traffic there moving along pretty well. We're still following a disabled vehicle there on the shoulder of the road. So heads up as you get out and about there. Nothing deep to worry about, just one thing to watch and keep an eye on there if crews show up for whatever the reason to help out. This is leaving town. You can see there by the number of vehicles versus the slight corner there where you can see how many cars are coming inbound versus going out here in Nashville this morning. We'll continue to keep an eye on that and anything else going on with Steer Clear Traffic Live through 9.
Let's talk about politics now. Former President Donald Trump wants to delay his hush money trial until after the Supreme Court rules on his presidential immunity claim. Trump says he should be immune from prosecution over his alleged efforts to overturn the 2020 election because he says he was president at the time. And now he argues some of the alleged acts in the hush money case overlap with his time in the White House, too. The hush money trial is currently scheduled, though, for March 25th, so later this month. And the Supreme Court also set to hear arguments on immunity exactly 1 month later. Well, Trump pleading not guilty to 34 felony counts involving falsifying business records as well. Another update there. After the break, Tennessee's education commissioner is facing hard questions.
Rise and thrive.
5:23 is the time. State lawmakers are asking tough questions to education officials about Governor Lee's proposed school choice program. Now, the program would allow tax dollars to be sent to to private schools where they could be used by students for tuition. Now, a hearing was held yesterday in the State House. For around 3 hours, lawmakers were asking several questions about the $7,075 that would be used for this program that would follow a student from public school to private school. Education leaders are trying their best to answer questions about this, but as you're about to hear, the two sides never quite met each other. Watch.
The 70-75 under the proposal is a completely separate pot of money, and if the student unenrolls from a private school, then that account is closed and those funds go back to the general fund.
Madam Chair, thank you. I know my time is up and we're up. Would you just send somebody to my office, because I've been here almost 23 years, and this is the first budget hearing that I've heard that I haven't understood anything that anybody said. So send someone to my office, please.
So that's how that went. Keep in mind, there's also a Senate version of this bill, and Senate lawmakers will have their own questions about this particular bill. We'll let you know when the two sides finally get together on something to present to the public.
5:24, and looking at the forecast going ahead. Doppler radar is clear once again, not even a cloud in the sky. That means that we have cool temperatures. You're starting in the 30s. But on the right side of your screen, like we always keep them up for you here every morning, straight through 9 o'clock, even during those commercials. 71 later on this afternoon. Frosty start, perfect afternoon. You'll go from having a winter coat on this morning to possibly having some iced tea sitting outside later on this afternoon. It's that kind of a day here across Middle Tennessee. Sunrise 7:03, sunset going to be at 6:52. What does the weekend have in store for us? Never too soon to start planning. Well, we're trending a little bit drier than we looked yesterday. That's good, but still much cooler. 66 on Saturday, 61 on Sunday. Bursts of sunshine carry us through both of those days with a mix of cloud cover. Friday, that's our main rainy day in the forecast over the course of the next 7. We're going to be tackling that on Future Track for you as we head into our 5:30 half hour.
Steer clear traffic for you this morning at 5:25. Let's get a quick look at what we got going on outside. Let's get started north of town. I-65, Trinity Lane. You can see we've got a disabled vehicle here as you head northbound out of downtown Nashville towards Madison, towards Hendersonville, towards Goodlettsville. You can see the traffic there moving along pretty well despite the disabled vehicle. No emergency crews, nothing like that. We're doing okay so far. Here's a look at 24, very close to Haywood Lane here on the north side, as you can see, south and east side. Coming in from Antioch, our first view of the traffic moving in from there. No big problems in this direction, in either direction there. You're moving fine as you head to the west, moving fine as you head to the east. Overall drive times look like this. Mount Juliet into town at 26 minutes. Murfreesboro at 48 minutes. Franklin at 25 minutes there as you make your way in. We'll continue to watch things for you, let you know exactly what we find, but right now we are smooth sailing. Well, coming up, the 7-year-old who was the subject of an Amber Alert now reunited with her dad, and the whole thing is caught on video. We've got it for you coming up in a few minutes.
Weeknights at 5 on Fox 17.
This Fox 17 This Morning newscast is sponsored by Electronic Express. We make it happen. You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
Now on Fox 17 News this Tuesday morning, this emotional reunion for the father and 7-year-old daughter reunited after an Amber Alert. Plus, the CDC says measles cases continue increasing here in Tennessee. Their take on the concerning numbers.
Forecast here heating up to very spring-like feels for the rest of this week, but it does come with one day. It'll be fairly rainy. We'll track that for you and how much we're going to see by the weekend.
All right, bring on the sunshine. Thank you so much for waking up with us here on a Tuesday morning for Fox 17 News. I'm Erica Glover. Jennifer Waddell has the morning off. Developing right now, want to let you know that a Missouri family is frantically searching for their 22-year-old University of Missouri student who they say disappeared while visiting Nashville over the weekend. Our Fox 17 News reporter Karen Aguilar joining us live over on Lower Broadway where he was last seen. And Karen, the mom says she spoke with her son multiple times a day. And now I'm wondering, are police working to get surveillance footage? What can you tell us?
Good morning, Erica. Well, Riley Strain's parents tell Fox 17 News that it's been a nightmare since he's been missing. We've reached out to Metro Police and there's still no trace of him. Riley's friends say that they were last with him inside this bar behind me, Luke Bryan's on Broadway. And then their friend Riley was kicked out for being too drunk. What we know is that Riley intended to walk to his Tempo Hotel nearby, but based on his location on his phone, it appears he went the wrong way. Riley is a senior at the University of Missouri. He was in town visiting with his fraternity brothers for a convention, but after multiple calls and still no word from him, his family drove from Missouri to Nashville to frantically search for him. Take a listen to their heartbreaking words.
For anyone watching, what would it mean to bring Riley home? Everything. Everything.
I mean the world. We need him back.
He's my baby. Please, if you know anything, please call the police. Please.
Absolutely emotionally and heartbreaking sound from his parents. Riley was last seen wearing brown boots, blue jeans, and a white and black button-up shirt. He's pretty tall, 6'5", and Metro Police is looking at surveillance video here on Broadway and the surrounding areas for some answers as to where he might be. If you have any information on his whereabouts, you can contact them. Reporting live on Broadway, Karen Aguilar, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
5:32 is your time. You can see Karen out there on Lower Broadway in the winter coat. That should be you too this morning, just like yesterday morning. Another chance for some frost out there. Heating up for the afternoon, even warmer than yesterday. If you enjoyed yesterday, you're going to really like today. I can promise you that right now. Tracking our next rainmaker doesn't make its way here until Thursday into Friday. Leave the umbrella at home, sunglasses, keep them on. Keep the shades and the winter coat going today. 39 degrees in Nashville, 34 in Columbia, 32 down in Tullahoma. Cumberland Plateau, temperatures holding in the 30s as well. So we're fairly consistent across the board. A few 40s still holding on, but for the most part, we're back near the freezing point, and we feel even a little bit colder than that. It's better than yesterday, but still cold enough to warrant that winter coat. What does it mean for the afternoon, and how quickly do we end up warming up getting into the afternoon hours? The backyard forecast, 42 at 9 a.m., 62 by noon, 69 degrees at 3 o'clock. Maybe a cloud or two, but mainly sunny. Great looking day to get outside. Coming up in your forecast, we will track that late week rain and also talk about cooler air that moves in as soon as that rain is over.
Steer clear traffic for you this morning. Let's get you out to I-24 near Hickory Hollow Parkway as you make that drive out there this morning. We're doing okay so far, and that drive coming in from Antioch this time could start to slow down as we move further into our 5 o'clock hours. More and more people get out there on the road. Keep in mind, spring break is out there for Metro schools and a number of other schools out there for you this morning. So heads up, as a lot of kids will not be going to their classroom this morning. For Metro, it means 80,000 kids will not be going to their classroom this morning, and that is going to affect traffic in a big way. We're going to tell you how as the morning goes on.
Well, new this Tuesday morning, an Amber Alert is over, and now we're sharing a heartfelt moment as the father and 7-year-old daughter reunited near Houston, Texas, Sunday. So look at this. Iris Crum reunited with her dad after more than a week being missing. An Amber Alert was issued for Iris Crum back on March 8th. Now, as you can imagine, the father saying that once he was reunited with his daughter, he was overcome with a sense of relief, and you can see that in this video. The father says that Iris Crum's mother does not have custody. The mother's name is Kayla Zareta, and she is now, according to police, in custody along with the stepfather. So we're showing you both of their shots, their mug shots, right here on your screen. Iris's mother is now charged with felony child abduction and custodial interference. Our Fox 17 News reporter, Karen Aguilar, is going to share the whole story, including reaction from Iris Crum's father during our 7 o'clock hour. In health news, the CDC says measles cases are increasing across the country, including here in Tennessee. The health organization reporting 45 confirmed cases so far in 2024, with more than half of those cases reported since February 11th. Doctors with Vanderbilt Health say a great way that you could prevent your child from developing measles, they say, is to go ahead and get vaccinated. Well, in 2023, in case you're wondering, just 90% of children in Tennessee were vaccinated. Doctors say vaccination rates should stay at 95% or higher. That way they can prevent major outbreaks. Well, last summer, Metro Council voted for $2 million worth of grants to be released for local artists. So coming up, why those artists say they haven't seen a dime of that yet. And there's a chance TikTok will be forced to make a major change.
Off. Plus, get up to 36 months free financing. Electronic Express. We make it happen.
This Fox 17 This Morning newscast is sponsored by Eurostone.
Just about 5:39 and new this Tuesday morning. Some Metro Council members are pushing for $2 million in grants to go ahead and be released to Metro arts and culture. Yeah, council voting to release those funds last June. They say those funds were supposed to be distributed in January, but now we're hearing from local artists who say they have not gotten any of that money. Councilwoman Joyce Stiles says that's because the Metro Director of Finance filed an audit claiming there is not enough money to distribute the grants. Well, the councilwoman says there is no evidence, though, of any deficit.
All of the machinations that are taking place within our departments, legal, finance, Metro Arts, has nothing to do with making sure that the artists in our city are actually getting paid the money that they were assured they would receive. Council members are standing here today to demand that those funds be released.
Well, Councilwoman Stiles says that audit has not been completed yet. Of course, Fox 17 News, we will continue updating this story and hopefully get some more updates and details to share with you.
5:39 getting out the door this morning, and some schools are on spring break. Others still getting the backpacks together. We'll look at your school forecast in a little bit, but this is maybe you're heading out at some point today. BNA. Flight out of town, picking someone up from the airport who's coming into town. Nashville weather looking great. 40s this morning, 62 at noon, 69 degrees at 3 o'clock. Our weather, can't stress this enough, is not going to be a cause for concern when it comes to flights. So watch where you're headed to or where folks are coming from. That would be the headache if there are any today. So your getaway cast, temperature right now 39 degrees in the Nashville area. We only have 5 delays at BNA, and we have no cancellations right now. Maybe you're hitting the road, want to get a good car wash first, show off a little bit later today. Wash or wait? I'm going to say wash today and tomorrow. Maybe wait on Thursday. A few isolated rain showers and then some steadier rain does move in on Friday. If you don't do it today or tomorrow, I would say wait until Sunday or Monday of next week. That way you can take advantage of the wash lasting a little bit longer because of that rain on Friday.
Steer clear traffic. Let's take you north of town. I-65 at Trinity Lane. Making that drive in from the north side. We are doing okay so far as you come on in from Madison, from Goodlettsville, Hendersonville, and beyond. No big problems in either direction, at least not right now. Things can change very quickly here as things start to bunch up as more and more people get out there on the roads. But for right now, we are holding steady. Same can be said on that drive coming in from Antioch, I-24, Hickory Hollow Parkway, making a smooth run through town. Coming in from Rutherford County, we're going to update you with the latest drive times. All of that coming up in a few.
Coming up on Fox 17 News this Tuesday morning, lawmakers debate a tax change that some are concerned would give big companies a tax break. How Governor Lee's company could be involved. And
limited time, get up to 75% off name brand closeout mattresses. Or get a king mattress for the price of a queen on select mattresses. Shop your local Ashley store today.
At 5:44, Fox 17 News this morning has continuing coverage on a bill that would eliminate a state business tax and allow companies to get nearly $2 billion in refunds. Democrats say they have a better plan that wouldn't cost a dime. Fox 17 News anchor Scott Couch, though, explaining how they're calling on Governor Lee to disclose how much his Lee company would get under this administration's bill. Listen.
Right now, Tennessee companies pay a yearly tax on their net worth or the value of the property they own here, whichever is greater. Governor Lee wants to get rid of the property part, saying there's a potential conflict with the Commerce Clause in the U.S. Constitution, and a legal challenge could cost the state big.
The working families of Tennessee deserve to know whether or not Governor Bill Lee and his company or companies stand to financially benefit from his proposed franchise tax cut.
State and Senate Democrats call it an unprecedented corporate handout and demand to know if Governor Lee and his heating and air operation, Lee Company, would get money back, and if so, how much. Beyond that, they say the administration's bill, which calls for a franchise tax refund dating back 3 years, is unnecessary. They say if a conflict arises because of a company being taxed on the value of its property here and in another state, we can offer a credit. No harm, no foul.
The tax credit would solve the exact same problem that the Lee administration is trying to solve, but it would solve it for $2 billion less. And that's just this year.
Democrats say they've consulted with tax lawyers, the Revenue Department, and the state attorney general, and their reasoning is sound. The administration argues we have more potential exposure every year, and it's time to cut bait.
Without legislation, the amount at issue increases by up to $400 million every year while the case is working its way through the court system.
That was Scott Couch reporting. Now, when he was elected, Governor Lee says that he placed all of his holdings into a blind trust to avoid conflicts and has no knowledge of his company's operations or business decisions. The Senate Finance Committee is set to vote on the franchise tax bill today. Now to health news. The Alzheimer's Association is increasing awareness about the health disparities among minority populations. Studies do show African Americans are more likely to get Alzheimer's than white Americans. Well, the Alzheimer's Association Oklahoma chapter says they are now working on learning why African Americans are twice as likely to be diagnosed with Alzheimer's. They say through their clinical study, New Ideas, that's what it's called, they're getting more information about Alzheimer's and dementia and how it impacts different people. The data from your scan will not only be used, they say, to help, but it will also go towards their research. And listen, they're specifically looking for people of color to go ahead and participate in this study.
New Ideas is targeted to everyone, but especially African Americans, Native Americans, Hispanics. We want everyone. We need to increase the data from all nationalities.
Well, the scans are completely free. You can find so much more information about the Middle Tennessee chapter of the Alzheimer's Association by going to fox17.com. If you're just now waking up with us, it's just about 5:48. And Greg, you said earlier it is National Working Moms Day. So we do want to celebrate all the moms, whatever you do, all the things you do. Just a round of applause.
And you know, every little thing that goes unseen every day that you're just doing that you think people don't recognize, we recognize it. We just don't say it often enough, so thank you. As far as the forecast goes, let's dial up a nice one here for later on this afternoon. Find some time to get outside because we're tracking some rain Thursday into Friday. Scattered showers will be out there. Most of that rain comes down on Friday itself. 1 to 2 inches of rain likely to be in the bucket by the time we get toward the weekend. But let's focus on the good. Today will be 71 degrees. We're warm. We're all clear when it comes to code red. No code red weather even when the rain arrives. All it's going to do is knock down our temperatures a little bit for the upcoming weekend, so keep that in mind. Today and tomorrow going to be dry unless you're in one area that we'll watch, and that's going to be in southern Kentucky tomorrow. So here's Tuesday. Nothing that we have to work with. Going into tomorrow, here we are, a few little dots of some green through noon, and then taking us into the afternoon. 1 or 2 pop-up showers can't be ruled out either. The better chance for rain widespread in little pockets is going to be on Thursday. Here's starting off at 9 a.m. Rain just starting to make its way in. Really light sprinkles and light showers. And then afternoon, peak of the heating of the day, right around 80 degrees. This is 5 p.m. could give us the chance for a brief pop-up shower or weak thunderstorm. No severe weather, no code red weather. Again, I cannot stress that enough. Forecast goes to 71 this afternoon, 75 degrees tomorrow, and nighttime temperatures finally give us a little bit of a break from these 30s, only right around 50. That's all we drop down to tonight and tomorrow.
Steer clear traffic out there for you this morning. Let's get out towards the airport. I-40 at Dallas and Pike. You can see it there for yourself. Traffic moving along pretty well out there despite our grainy camera. We apologize for that. There we go. We cleared up a little bit. Traffic is moving very nicely. No big problems out there in either direction, at least not yet. Things are subject to change and change quickly, though. We are watching other areas of town. That includes I-24, Waldron Road coming in from Rutherford County. Also doing very nice on that drive. We'll let you know if or when anything changes.
All right, let's talk about TikTok and business news. There is a push over in Washington, D.C. once again to potentially get rid of TikTok. But there is some bipartisan concerns that come along with this movement. Lawmakers in the House are gearing up for a floor vote Wednesday, tomorrow, that could potentially prohibit the use of TikTok in the U.S. We've talked about this before. Well, if this bill gets enacted, TikTok would have about 5 months or so to break away from ByteDance. That is their Chinese-linked parent company, ByteDance. However, senators from both parties say they would like some changes to the legislation. TikTok has called this House bill an attack on users' free speech rights. The ACLU issuing a statement saying a potential ban on TikTok would violate the First Amendment rights of millions of Americans. President Biden told reporters Friday that he supports the bill and would sign it passed. Even former President Donald Trump speaking out about TikTok ban. If you want to read what he had to say, go to fox17.com. Well, a local meat market tangled in a battle with a neighbor over the smell of the meat market. Coming up, what members of the community, though, are doing about this. And the latest trend, not kidding here, y'all, it's a $3 tote bag, but it's now selling for hundreds.
Home. Thanks, Aaron. People have asked me to curb my appeal, but that's impossible. Buy 2 windows, get 2 free. No payments for 24 months. Window Nation, the perfect fit.
At 5:54, right now we're showing you a live look of the Nashville skyline. And listen, it's going to be a bit chilly, similar to Monday morning's start. But the good news is we are expecting a big warm up. That's coming today, so lots of sunshine. Greg even said today is the day to get outside for lunch. If you are off for spring break, congratulations. You're going to have some nice sunshine. We'll have your full forecast and how the rain is going to ramp up later this week, coming up in a couple of minutes. Right now, though, we're talking about a local story over in East Nashville where a woman is suing the restaurant and market next to her home. Yes, she calls Roy's Meat Service a nuisance because she can't stand the smell of grilled meats. The Roy family has owned this business that we're showing you for about a decade or so, and the neighbor sued last January. The case summary identifies the complainant as Natalie Castillo. A GoFundMe page, though, set up for the Roy family says that she began complaining about the smell of meat back in June of 2021 after about a year and a half, or I should say about a year and a half before the lawsuit. The GoFundMe, as of right now, raising over $29,000. Nearly 2/3 of 4th graders in the U.S. struggle to read at grade level, which is why we want to let you know Fox 17 News and our parent company Sinclair Broadcasting, we're partnering with Reading is Fundamental to support children's literacy. If you want to help out, all you have to do is grab your phone, you probably already have it in your hand anyway, and scan this QR code to donate to our virtual book drive. And if you want to read more, go to fox17.com. I want to know if you've heard about this. The new Trader Joe's tote bag is really giving the Stanley Cup craze a run for its money. That's because the beloved grocery store chain released this line of canvas mini tote bags back in February, but now they're recently seeing a viral craze. Okay, the original price of the tote bag, $3, but it sold out rather quickly. So then some folks got their hands on these bags and they're taking the opportunity to resell the mini bags at a much higher price, to say the least. Yes, some of these bags have been listed on eBay, Facebook, other sites. Get this, y'all, for up to $500. What? Yeah, okay, so on March 2nd, the company released a statement saying, quote, they do not condone or support the reselling of the highly sought after bags. Y'all gotta be kidding me. There is no way, no way. Hey, move over to TikTok. There is a new app with the most downloads, and maybe you've heard of it. If not, I'm going to share the information with you. According to data from market intelligence firm Sensor Tower, Instagram saw a 20% increase in downloads over the last year alone, allowing it to dethrone TikTok. The report says the photo sharing app is the most downloaded around the world. TikTok became the most downloaded app back in 2018, and really it soared in popularity during the pandemic. But that began to kind of wear off in 2021. The report also stating that over the last 3 months of 2023, Instagram welcomed a whopping 13 million new users, while TikTok, on the other hand, lost 12 million users over the same time period. Okay, I'm going to check in now with our Code Red meteorologist who loves Instagram too, right? Maybe? Kind of?
I think my last post was August of 2020.
I know, I'm joking. I know you don't post. I never see your updates. Your fiance does. She does.
Yeah, see, you can live vicariously through her, Erica. Taking a look here. Weekend planner, Saturday, 66 degrees, Sunday, 61. Taking a look at rain chances. They're both at 20%, but don't worry about that. I'm not too concerned about any day being close to a washout or any real significant stretch of time of rain. That's more so going to be on Friday leading to the weekend. Today, not a drop coming out of the sky for you here. We'll have temperatures that are starting in the 30s, and they will eventually make their way all the way up to the 71-degree mark. So yes, that is your weekend planner for you. Now, your 7-day forecast, how do we get there? That's the big thing. We go from 71 degrees, then 75, then 78, then roadblock. Yeah, we have rain that moves in on Friday. Drops the temperatures very quickly. Nighttime even gets cold once again going into next week. So enjoy the next 4-day stretch of well above average temperatures. Very spring-like pattern for us here until we get to the weekend.
Steer clear traffic out there for you this morning. Quick look here on I-24 at Haywood Lanes. You make that drive into town through Antioch. As you can see there, traffic moving along without issue. We're really doing okay so far here this morning. We've got the latest look at your drive times coming up here right now. Let's take a look. Mount Juliet at 26 minutes. Murfreesboro 53 minutes. Franklin coming in at 28 minutes on the drive.
In consumer news, Airbnb is banning security cameras inside their listings. The company says hosts will no longer be allowed to have indoor security cameras in the homes beginning on April 30th, so next month. Indoor security cameras were previously only allowed in hallways and living rooms as long as it was disclosed in the listing. Hosts, though, will still be allowed to use doorbell cameras and noise decibel monitors. Let's talk about Buffalo Wild Wings. They are testing its fans' basketball knowledge against their real-life mascot. The restaurant chain says they're going to hold a, quote, Beat the Buffalo contest for March Madness. You guessed it. Fans can enter their brackets to see if they will be better than Jack, an actual buffalo. Jack's brackets, the men's and women's tournaments, are going to be released on March 19th, so next week. And the fans will have until the 21st of March to go ahead and submit their own. Challenges with the top scorers, going to have a chance to win free wings for a year. Okay, I'm in. And tickets to next year's tournament as well. 6 o'clock hour starting right now.
You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
Now on Fox 17 News this Tuesday morning, an update to 2 shootings that happened over the weekend, what we know so far, and who is in custody.
Coming up, hear from the family of the missing University of Missouri student, plus the details.
Our forecast cold one more time before a very spring-like pattern settles in, but there will be a weather maker that brings us right back to reality. We'll track it in your forecast.
What? Back to reality?
Steer clear traffic at I-40 2nd Avenue in downtown Nashville. Things rolling along fine. We've got to look at your drive times coming up in a few.
I'm ready for spring, no rain. Hey, thank you so much for waking up with us here on a Tuesday morning. For Fox 17 News, I'm Erica Glover. Jennifer Waddell has the morning off. We're going to begin right now with a developing story. Want to let you know a Missouri family is frantically searching for their 22-year-old son, who they say has not been seen since Friday after leaving a Lower Broadway bar. Our Fox 17 News reporter Karen Aguilar joining us live right out front of Luke Bryan's bar sharing updates. And Karen, what stood out to me is that his mom says he is more than 6 feet tall, so you cannot miss him.
Yeah, you can't miss him. He's extremely tall, and he is a student at the University of Missouri, a senior actually. His family has been searching everywhere for him since his disappearance. Now, what we do know is that Riley Strain's friends say they were last with him at this bar behind me, Luke Bryan's Bar, a popular bar here on Broadway, and that he was kicked out for being too drunk. Riley's stepfather says that he was being overserved. Now, I want to tell you a little bit more about what happened when he was kicked out of this bar. Riley's friends say that he intended to go to his hotel nearby, Tempo, but based on the location on his phone, it appears he went the wrong way. Now, on Twitter, we've seen multiple tweets of people just asking if anyone has any information to please contact police. They are wondering if in fact he might be dead somewhere at this time. We don't know if that's the case. There are still a lot of questions surrounding what happened during his disappearance. But what we do know is that his family drove from Missouri to Nashville and has been searching for him nonstop. Take a listen.
This is definitely the worst nightmare. Riley talks to us, whether it's me or to his mom. He talks to his mom 3 or 4 times a day. I mean, it's for him to go this long without talking is not normal by any means.
Metro Police are working to gather evidence and information on his disappearance. They want to look at surveillance video here on Broadway and the surrounding area. Again, if you have any information on where Riley might be, Metro Police ask that you contact them. Reporting live on Broadway, Karen Aguilar, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
6:03, and a check of your forecast. Getting up the 3 things to know here starting off your Tuesday, as we do almost every morning, just so we can kind of get all on the same page before the day really gets kicked off here. Last cold morning for the next 7 days. 30s, not great, but then 50s for nighttime temperatures the next few days. Spring feeling afternoon temperatures for sure. We're going to be above 70 degrees every day until Saturday. Heavy rain, though, does arrive later this week. Most of that's going to come down on your Friday, and when that does, 1 to 2 inches of rain can't be ruled out. Hometown temperatures right now are a little bit better than yesterday, but most of us still stuck in the 30s to start off this morning, and many of our students are on spring break, so it'll be a little bit more of a calm start, at least in the Nashville area. Taking a look, it's also a calm start with the forecast. But some kids still getting the backpacks ready. So first bell, what can you expect as the buses are picking up the kids? 37 degrees after school. What a day to get outside. 69 degrees right in the middle of the afternoon. We will hit a high of right around 71 by the end of the day.
Steer clear traffic for you this morning. Let's get you out to I-24 Waldron Road coming in from Rutherford County. As you can see, our traffic starting to stack up out there as you make that drive into town. No word about any accidents out there. This is just normal buildup that we're seeing as not everybody's on spring break, okay? Metro is, but a lot of other school systems may not be. For instance, Rutherford County, they won't take theirs till much later in the month. So their kids are out and about going to school out there, and it's starting to show on those interstates. Drive time approaching an hour coming in from Murfreesboro. Other areas of town, like once you get into Metro Nashville, this is I-24 Harding Place. As you can see, traffic there doing a lot better, but the difference between this camera and this one is only about 5 or 6 miles.
Justin, thank you. We have an update now out of Springfield, where police say a man is facing homicide charges for the shooting deaths of 2 women Sunday. The women were found shot in a parked car Sunday afternoon. We're sharing you video right now of the scene from Smoky Barn News. Police say 26-year-old Monray Vontez Johnson is from Nashville and facing charges. We also have a tough story to share, but we do want to update you out of South Nashville because Metro Police identifying the man accused of shooting 2 women and a child before ultimately ending his own life. Police say the gunman was 25-year-old Emilio Ramirez Lopez. Police say Lopez shot his 31-year-old ex-girlfriend, who is now in critical condition, as well as her 7-year-old son. The ex-girlfriend's 21-year-old cousin also shot. That investigation is ongoing. Tennessee's education commissioner is facing hard questions about a possible school choice. At 6:08, we do have breaking news when it comes to international updates. The Russian Defense Ministry says a military transport plane with 15 people on board crashed during takeoff. It happened in a region north of Moscow. Leaders now saying there were 8 crew members and 7 passengers on board of the plane at the time. And they also say that an engine fire during takeoff was likely the cause of this crash.
State lawmakers are asking tough questions to education officials about the governor's proposed school choice program. That program would use tax dollars to help send some students from public school to private school, using that tax dollars to pay for tuition. Now, one lawmaker became upset when talking about the mixed messages that a program like this could send the students about their own schools.
So the kids are hearing this about failing all the time. And then we put something else on top of it. And now we're getting ready to do the same thing. And it's really, I think my skin is getting a little hot. My blood is boiling right now, because before our kids can adjust to the things that we've done, we're adding more to them and then telling them they're failing. I have a problem with that. I feel like these vouchers is really going to have a negative impact on the traditional, even charter schools.
Leader Camper, do you have a
Ma'am, I
question?
understand. Yes, ma'am, I do. I'm sorry. Thank you. Appreciate your grace.
Keep in mind, there is a Senate version of this bill as well that lawmakers are working on that will have questions of its own. Coming up here in our 7 and 8 o'clock hour, we're going to hear directly from the Education Commissioner as she takes some pointed questions from lawmakers about the way this program is funded and exactly where this money could be coming from once it leaves the public school system. Now, Crisis in Our Classroom is our commitment to exposing problems and finding solutions for issues in our schools. If you have a story that you think we should be working on, you can drop us an email. You can find us at news@fox17.com or call our tip line 266-4159.
Closing in on 6:11, looking at our forecast and the big notes going into Thursday and Friday. The next weather maker moving into Middle Tennessee. A few hit and miss light rain showers on your Thursday. That's not a day to worry about. It's a day to have an umbrella just in case you need it for just a couple minutes here and there throughout the day. That'll also be our warmest day, up near 80 degrees. So find those dry times to get out there. Steady though, rainfall moves in for Friday. Much rainier on Friday than on Thursday. 1 to 2 inches of rain, maybe even a rumble of thunder because of how warm we'll be. Good news is no severe weather when this system moves in. So a little rainfall in the morning and early afternoon hours of your Thursday, dies down for the evening, and then rain picks up.
It's a Throwback Tuesday. In the first audition, they said we need you to cluck like a chicken. I'm going around going,
Cherry, today at 10 on Fox 17.
A teacher accused of putting her hands on a non-speaking 4-year-old with autism.
This mother was initially denied legal action, but we reached out to the district attorney demanding answers. Now, the DA is looking into the case again. Fox 17 News alerts, empowers, protects.
Ponce Law, this is Amanda. How can I help you? At Ponce Law, we make it easy.
We deal with the insurance companies, so you can focus on getting better.
We work fast to get the money you need.
The money they got for me was more than I ever thought possible.
If you've been injured, don't let an accident wreck your life. Call Ponce Law, Justice for All, 615-244-4321.
See how your business can earn the competitive advantage of accreditation. Visit bbb.org.
Dr. Mehta knows pain.
Oftentimes, I see patients with pain in their knees, their hips, their back, and it's actually coming from their feet.
Her suggestion?
It's as easy as going into a Good Feet store.
Come in for your free arch support fitting.
The Rooms to Go anniversary sale is here. Our once-a-year celebration of style, selection, and incredible savings store-wide. Just look around. Great low prices on beautiful furniture you won't find anywhere else. Our suppliers have kicked in with price breaks for huge savings passed directly on to you. Plus, 60-month interest-free financing. Pretty good, right? No high interest rates here. The Rooms to
Weather threatens. Download the Fox 17 News Code Red weather app now.
This Fox 17 This Morning newscast is sponsored by Sarah Chevrolet Buick GMC of Nashville.
Just about 6:15, and we do have Operation Crime and Justice updates out of South Nashville because the South Nashville neighborhood really on edge after an armed robbery in broad daylight over the weekend. Metro Police arresting 27-year-old Juliet Shields and 19-year-old Shamarian Shields Saturday after police say they held a man at gunpoint in the parking lot of an apartment complex off of Twin Oaks Drive. Police say they took off with the victim's belongings. They have lengthy criminal records that we're showing you on the screen, and Juliet Shields has records going back several years, including prior aggravated robbery convictions. Shamarian was free on a $36,000 bond at the time of his arrest. Now advocates, very outspoken advocates, want to see changes to the bond system. Listen.
Does that person have a record? If they do, and they've been before the court numerous times, that tells the whole story. That's their normal, and until they have an intervention, it's going to continue.
Well, both men are being held on a $75,000 bond, and Juliet is due in court later this morning. Fox 17 News crews are going to be there for more updates. Let's talk about sports news. The Tennessee Titans could be moving on from star running back Derrick Henry. The Associated Press says the Titans have come to terms with ex-Dallas Cowboys running back Tony Pollard. Fox 17 photojournalist right now, Madison Spraker, giving us a live look from Nissan Stadium where a lot of changes are on the way. Okay, an AP source says Pollard and the Titans agreed yesterday to a 3-year deal worth $24 million. But truly, no deal can officially be made until tomorrow. But let's take a closer look and give you some of the stats. He ran more than 1,000 yards last season and scored 6 touchdowns. Henry, who was a second-round pick for the Titans back in 2016, is a free agent for the very first time. We, of course, want to know what you think. Titans fans are very, very outspoken. Is Tony Pollard, who grew up in Memphis, a good signing for the Titans? It's a live Fox Nashville X poll, and you can let us know what you think right now. But currently, 66% of you all say yes. He is a good sign for the Titans. Hey, make sure you sound off by going to our X account, Fox Nashville X account, or go to our Fox Nashville Facebook page. All right, Greg, what do you think? Sound off.
I mean, there were so many new pieces. I think the time is just too soon to tell at this point.
Okay, fair enough.
It isn't like you're taking one little piece here or one piece there. We're talking new coaches. We're talking new almost everything. So it's going to be interesting to see what the new culture is and how it goes. I mean, it's exciting, if anything else.
Exciting for sure. We have a lot of changes on the way.
We do. So we'll roll with the changes as the song goes. Taking a look here. Right now, a look at Lower Broadway. We're gearing up for what could end up being a pretty active week down there, given how our temperatures are going to be. Right now, we're cold at 39 degrees. Clear night leading to a relatively clear morning, and then the afternoon sunshine winds, and temperatures will elevate from 39 to 71 degrees later this afternoon. Enjoy it. Weekend cools everything down. We'll have temperatures that will fall back into the 60s, and by Monday we'll be lucky to even hit 50 degrees. So we do trend a little bit drier. Friday is going to bring in our next weather maker, our next good chance for rain that we're going to keep our eyes on here over the next 3 days. But until then, 71 and sunny later today. This is your weekend. You can still make plans. Just know it's not going to be quite as warm as what you've been accustomed to here over the course of the last few days. Taking a look, Code Red Weather app, good place to go for that Friday rain, to track it in real time, especially if you have evening plans. You can scan the QR code right there on your screen, or go to the Apple Store or the Google Play Store. It's good for you not only when you're here, say maybe your kid's not on spring break yet, but you're traveling somewhere. In the next couple of weeks, the app still works for you there as far as using the radar to dodge any rain or potential snow, depending upon where you're headed.
Still clear traffic out there for you this morning. Let's get you out to I-40 at 2nd Avenue. This is in downtown Nashville in the downtown loop. Traffic there moving along really nicely so far this morning. No big problems in either direction there. We want to keep you up to date on your drive time, so let's take you there. We are now up over an hour coming in from Murfreesboro, 63 minutes on that drive, 28 minutes coming in from Franklin, 29 minutes coming in from Hendersonville. When things change, and they will, we'll continue to keep you up to date, but right now, no major accidents to tell you about. A lot of this is just congestion coming in from Rutherford County.
Making headlines this Tuesday morning, Boeing is responding to Senate lawmakers who are demanding information about the door plug that blew out on an Alaskan Airlines. This happened about 2 months ago. The Justice Department has been reportedly opening a criminal probe into the company, too. Fox News correspondent Christina Coleman has the very latest update this Tuesday morning.
The Department of Justice has opened a criminal investigation into Boeing regarding the door panel that ripped off a Boeing 737 MAX in midair in January. The Wall Street Journal is reporting the DOJ investigation into this incident. The federal probe into the door blowout could also provide the DOJ with details on whether Boeing complied with the settlement following the two deadly Boeing 737 MAX crashes in 2018 and 2019. Also, in a letter to the chair of the Senate Commerce Committee, Boeing acknowledged that after looking extensively, they cannot find some documentation for work done in the factory on the door that had blown off during the Alaska Airlines flight. Their, quote, working hypothesis is that the documents were not created when the door plug was opened, even though Boeing requires those records. Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg weighed in on the efforts to improve safety.
First of all, Boeing needs to cooperate in every respect, and the FAA has given them 90 days to show a comprehensive plan on how they're going to turn their quality issues around. Every time I step off of a jet bridge and onto a plane, which is every few days, I know that I am participating in the safest way to travel in the world, and we never take that for granted.
Again, it was a rough week for Boeing. Last Monday, an engine on a Boeing 737-900 burst into flames during a flight from Houston to Fort Myers, Florida. No injuries were reported, and the crew made a safe emergency landing. And on Thursday, a tire fell off a Boeing plane heading to Japan from San Francisco. The tire fell on some cars and a fence in a parking lot. The flight was diverted to LAX, where it made a safe landing. Reporting in Los Angeles, Christina Coleman, Fox News.
Christina, thank you. Some shoppers say grocery prices are sky high, and now we're continuing coverage on the push to end the grocery tax here in Middle Tennessee. And thank you for waking up with us every single morning on Fox 17 News, your only local station with traffic.
Budget breaks. Breaks starting at just $100.
Relaxing. Injured? Call America's largest injury law firm, Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Welcome back. 6:24 is the time. Tennessee State House advancing a bill that would get rid of state and local grocery tax. Do I have your attention now? Well, it's headed to the House Finance Subcommittee. Nashville Democrats Representatives Afton Benn and Senator Charlene Oliver, they introduced this bill last November. Well, weeks ago, we talked about this. Volunteers headed to the grocery stores collecting signatures, so we're showing you photos of them getting those signatures in support of the bill. The lawmakers say pairing the bill with corporate tax reform would help make up for lost revenue. Later today, Senator Oliver is presenting the bill to the Senate Finance Subcommittee. More updates on the way. Let's check in now with your Code Red weather update. And looks like this morning is going to be a chilly one. Take your winter coat. Hopefully you haven't packed it up. But the good news is sunshine is in the forecast. No rain to talk about for today. Greg was saying that about by 3 o'clock this afternoon it's going to be about 71 degrees. So maybe you're getting out to enjoy your spring break. You're going to have lots of sunshine to make that happen. Don't worry, you'll have your full forecast from Greg Bobus coming up in a couple of minutes, including how the rest of this week you're going to need an umbrella.
Steer clear traffic for you this morning. Let's get you up to I-24 at Hickory Hollow Parkway coming in from the Antioch area. You can see that for yourself. Traffic is moving along despite our pixelated camera. It'll clear up here in a second. But the traffic is not going to clear up as quickly as our camera did. It is going to slow down here as the morning goes on. More and more cars get out there on the road, which equals a longer drive. Let's take a look at those drive times. 27 minutes in from Mount Juliet, 63 from Murfreesboro, 65 in from Franklin. A bit of a slowdown coming in, not Franklin, Clarksville. 65 coming in from Clarksville. Some construction up there on I-24 could be slowing things down in both directions, so heads up on that.
Justin, thank you. Coming up, a father reunited with his missing daughter after an Amber Alert. The charges her mother is now facing.
We've been breathing this.
Lots of people don't realize that mold feeds off moisture in their crawl space. But don't worry, we got this.
At AFS, we'll do a home inspection for free.
You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
Now on Fox 17 News this Tuesday morning, this emotional moment caught on camera as Anthony Crum, the father of 7-year-old Iris Crum, who was missing for more than a week, is back in his arms. Plus, the CDC says measles cases are continuing to increase here in Tennessee. We're sharing their take on the concerning numbers. Plus, this Tuesday is going to be a warm one, but showers are on the way. Our Code Red meteorologist sharing your full forecast. Thank you so much for waking up with us here on a busy Tuesday morning on Fox 17 News. I'm Erica Glover. Jennifer Waddell has the morning off. We're going to begin this morning letting you know that a Missouri family is frantically searching for their 22-year-old son who has not been seen since Friday after they say he left a downtown Broadway bar. Riley Strain is a University of Missouri student in town with his fraternity brothers. They say he got kicked out of Luke Bryan's bar that is off of 3rd Avenue for being extremely intoxicated. That is according to his friends. So we're mapping it all out for you, where he was last seen and where he could be. Strain said that he was walking back to his hotel several blocks away at Nashville's Tempo Hotel, but instead it appears he went in the wrong direction, getting lost. Riley Strain's cell phone last pinged near Public Square Park. That is close to the river. Fox 17 News' Karen Aguilar live out front of Luke Bryan's bar. And Karen, what is the family saying this Tuesday morning?
Riley Strain's parents tell Fox 17 News that it's been a nightmare since he's been missing. He was last seen wearing brown boots, blue jeans, and a white and black button-up shirt. Riley's friends say they were last with him behind me in this bar, Luke Bryan's bar on Broadway, and that he was kicked out for being too drunk. It was reported that he intended to walk to Tempo Hotel, which is nearby, but based on the location on his phone, it appears he went the wrong way. Riley is a senior at the University of Missouri. He was in town with his fraternity brothers visiting for a convention, but after multiple calls and no word of him, his family drove from Missouri to Nashville, frantically searching for him. Take a listen to their heartbreaking words.
For anyone watching, what would it mean to bring Riley home?
Everything. Everything.
Mean the world. We need him back.
He's my baby. Please, if you know anything, please call the police. Please.
Police say they are working on getting video from Broadway and the surrounding area. They are asking anyone with information on Riley's whereabouts to please contact them. Reporting on Broadway, Karen Aguilar, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
6:31, and let's dial in on your forecast and see what we're in store for. What is new this morning? Well, a great looking afternoon. Last chilly morning of the entire week. This morning is in the 30s to right near 40. Tomorrow morning will be near 50 degrees. Very quickly warming up this afternoon. Think back to yesterday when the middle and late stages of the day were actually very comfortable. Today, very similar. 71 degrees for the high temperature late in the day. Sunglasses and winter coats just like yesterday. Please have the sunglasses. Sunrise is here in about a half hour from right now. Help you avoid the sun glare getting out the door. All clear when it comes to any potential code red weather. Storms do return late in the week. A couple of showers mixed in there as well. It's not going to be code red, but it could give us 1 to 2 inches of rain, and then we get cooler for the weekend. Here's your 7-day forecast. 71 this afternoon, 75 tomorrow, 78 on Thursday, right near 70 on Friday. That is the weather maker where everything changes. We get a little bit cooler at night as well, going back to the 40s. And then 66 on Saturday goes to 61 degrees on Sunday. We're going to time out that rain a little bit better for you here Thursday into Friday on Future Track. We'll get your curious question coming at you soon, too. And meet our dog of the day. A lot happening here in the next 20 minutes.
Clear traffic out there this morning. Let's get started here at I-24 Hickory Hollow Parkway. Making that drive in from the Antioch area. You can see traffic there starting to bunch up and slow down as you come on in from Antioch, from Smyrna, and from Laverne this morning. So far, though, no major delays, no major crashes, just part of the morning drive. This is the same can be said here, 65 Trinity Lane, really more at the I-24 junction on the north side. You can see traffic there starting to slow down. Keep in mind, no metro schools today. So this is just people going to work or wherever they may be headed out, but 80,000 kids will not be going to school today across Metro Nashville. That's going to have an impact on your traffic because no school zones running within the city, but there are plenty of places outside of Nashville where school will be running on schedule.
Justin, thank you. New this Tuesday morning, an Amber Alert over. We are now sharing a heartfelt moment as the father and 7-year-old out of Rutherford County reunited near Houston, Texas Sunday. Take a look at this video. Iris Crum reunited with her dad after more than a week of being missing. An Amber Alert was issued for Iris Crum back on the 8th of March. And as you can imagine, the father says once he was reunited with his daughter in this video, he was overcome with a sense of relief. Now, the mother was suspected to be with the child. That mother does not have custody. The mother's name is Kayla Zareta, and she is now, according to police, in custody along with the stepfather. Iris Crum's mom is now charged with felony child abduction along with custodial interference. Our Fox 17 News reporter Karen Aguilar has the whole story, including Iris Crum's dad's reaction. That story coming up in our 7 o'clock hour. In health news now, the CDC says that measles cases are increasing across the country, including here in Tennessee. The health organization confirming that so far in 2024, cases, more than half of the cases reported since February 11th have increased. Doctors with Vanderbilt Health say a great way that you can prevent your child from developing the measles is to get them vaccinated. Well, back in 2023, just 90% of children in Tennessee were vaccinated, and doctors now saying that vaccination rates should stay at 95% or higher in order to prevent major outbreaks. Well, happening today, special counsel is going to go ahead and meet before the House Judiciary Committee. Last month, they released a report on their investigation into President Joe Biden's handling of classified documents. The team determined there was not evidence, though, to support a prosecution. However, the writing in the report casted Biden as, quote, an elderly man who could be forgetful. Democrats blasted that characterization shortly after, though, and that report release is going to have some more updates in the coming hours. Last summer, Metro Council voted for $2 million worth of grants to be released to local artists. So coming up, why those artists say they have not seen a dime of it. What is happening? And there is a chance TikTok is going
to get it done. Call 800-800-4600.
This Fox 17 newscast is sponsored by the Nashville Preds.
Good morning and happy Tuesday. Some Metro Council members are pushing for $2 million in grants to be released to Metro arts and culture. Going to share more updates about this story and let you know Council voted to release those funds last June. They say those funds were supposed to be distributed in January, but local artists say they have not gotten any of that money. Councilwoman Joy Stiles says that's because the Metro Director of Finance filed an audit claiming there is not enough money to distribute to the grants. Well, the councilwoman says there is no evidence of any deficit. Listen.
All of the machinations that are taking place within our departments, legal, finance, Metro Arts, has nothing to do with making sure that the artists in our city are actually getting paid the money that they were assured they would receive. Council members are standing here today to demand that those funds be released.
Councilwoman Joy Stiles says that the audit has not been yet completed. Fox 17 News, of course, updating this story as soon as we get some more information. Right now, though, we do want to update you on that beautiful Tuesday forecast for us.
Today will be nice, 71 degrees and sunshine. Can't complain with that. But here we go into Thursday and Friday. You can complain a little bit here. A couple scattered showers begin to move in. On and off, very light rainfall for your Thursday. Not the entire day. You might get a shower, a few hours of a break, a shower, that kind of a day. Friday, a little more widespread when it comes to the rain. But by the time all is said and done, about 1 to 2 inches of rain by the end of Friday, and then a cool down into the weekend. Cold front brings the rain, knocks down the temps. So until then, enjoy 70s for the rest of this week. A curious question this morning here for you. In 2009, what became the first Morse code, character added since World War II? Was it the I have the wrong things here. I have numbers. @ the pound key, the $, or, believe it or not, the question mark? I'll have that answer for you coming up in a few minutes.
Steer clear traffic out there for you this morning. Yeah, you never know with us around here. Let's get to I-65 Trinity Lane there on the north side. Traffic continues to trickle in there a little bit slow as we've got lots and lots of congestion continuing to build in there from that north side. You can try to take Ellington Parkway. It's the best way to steer clear. Dickerson Pike also helps you out with this particular drive. But right now, nothing out of the ordinary there as we get you out the door here for this particular morning. Let's take a look at some other things we're following, including the drive coming in. Here it is from Laverne this morning. Nice I-24 at Waldron Road coming in from Laverne through Rutherford County. No big holdups so far. Still about an hour getting in from Murfreesboro, but things like this give us hope that things will be easier, not harder, as we move towards our 7 o'clock hour.
Coming up next, lawmakers debating a tax change that some are concerned would give big companies a tax break. We're going to tell you how Governor Lee's company could be involved in aiding Alzheimer's disease research, what you could do to help researchers learn more about finding a cure. And thank you for waking up with us here. Stop what you're doing and look at this sunrise. Oh, the color's magnificent. We're your only local station.
A maniac. Tonight at 7 on Fox 17.
We have developing news out of South Carolina. That is, her crews say 3 girls are to blame for a massive apartment complex fire. A sheriff's department there says a town just outside of the state's capital, look at this, destroyed at least 8 units, forcing 24 people from their homes. Goodness, and causing nearly $1 million in damages. First responders say the 3 girls under the age of 12 were reportedly starting small fires for fun, causing all of this devastation that you see on your screen. Now to continuing coverage on a bill that would eliminate a state business tax and allow companies to get nearly $2 billion in refunds. Democrats say they have a better plan that wouldn't cost a dime. As Fox 17 News anchor Scott Couch explains, they're now calling on Governor Bill Lee to disclose how much his Lee company would get under the administration's bill.
Right now, Tennessee companies pay a yearly tax on their net worth or the value of the property they own here, whichever is greater. Governor Lee wants to get rid of the property part, saying there's a potential conflict with the Commerce Clause in the U.S. Constitution, and a legal challenge could cost the state big.
The working families of Tennessee deserve to know whether or not Governor Bill Lee and his company or companies stand to financially benefit from his proposed franchise tax cut.
State and Senate Democrats call it an unprecedented corporate handout and demand to know if Governor Lee and his heating and air operation, Lee Company, would get money back, and if so, how much. Beyond that, they say the administration's bill, which calls for a franchise tax refund dating back 3 years, is unnecessary. They say if a conflict arises because of a company being taxed on the value of its property here and in another state, we can offer a credit. No harm, no foul.
The tax credit would solve the exact same problem that the Lee administration is trying to solve, but it would solve it for $2 billion less. And that's just this year.
Democrats say they've consulted with tax lawyers, the Revenue Department, and the State Attorney General, and their reasoning is sound. The administration argues we have more potential exposure every year, and it's time to cut bait.
Without legislation, the amount at issue increases by up to $400 million every year while the case is working its way through the court system.
That was Fox 17 News anchor Scott Couch reporting. When he was elected, Governor Bill Lee says he placed all of his holdings in a blind trust to avoid conflicts and has no knowledge of his company's operations or business decisions. By the way, the Senate Finance Committee is set to vote on the franchise tax bill today. Some more updates on the way. Now to health news. The Alzheimer's Association is increasing awareness, they say, about the health disparities among minority populations. That's because they believe studies show African Americans are more likely to get Alzheimer's than white Americans. Daniel Morrison with the Alzheimer's Association Oklahoma chapter says they're working on learning why African Americans are twice as likely to be diagnosed with Alzheimer's. She says through their clinical study, quote, new ideas, that's what it's called, they get more data about Alzheimer's and dementia and how it impacts different people. She says the data from your scan will not only be used to help you, but it will also go towards their research. And they're specifically, she says, looking for people of color to participate.
New Ideas is targeted to everyone, but especially African Americans, Native Americans, Hispanics. We want everyone. We need to increase the data from all nationalities.
Well, these scans are free. You can find more information about the Middle Tennessee chapter of the Alzheimer's Association by going to fox17.com. We're going to check in now with our Code Red meteorologist, who has an update, hopefully, about the quiz of the day.
Okay, so what I asked and did not show you the proper potential answers is the curious question of back in 2009, they added a new character to Morse code.
Yes.
For the first time since World War II. So put the question up real quick, and then Eric, I want to know what you think here. Was it the @ sign, the pound sign, the $sign, or the question mark?
I'm not going to change my mind. I'm going with B.
You're going with B. B you would think because of Twitter and then now using it as a hashtag, but you were close. It had to do with technology. What? It was the @ sign back in 2009. The first thing since World War II to be added to Morse code. I don't know Morse code. I don't know anyone who does know Morse code, quite frankly, personally. Dog of the day, Samuel, sent in by Shay. Samuel hanging out. They're probably going to enjoy a nice dog walk later on today. 40s this morning, 61 at noon, 69 degrees at 3 p.m. So the dog walking forecast just for the morning chunked out for you, keeping it 30s to right near 42. So we're definitely bundling up a little bit as we're getting out there for the four-legged friends this afternoon. Sunglasses and T-shirts are possible for many of us, depending upon your comfort level. Tons of sunshine in the forecast. And as always, you can send us your dog of the day and see it right here on Fox 17 News this morning just by going to Facebook and finding that pinned post at the top of my page. It's that easy to do it, and you can see your friend right here on our air. Taking a look at the 7-day forecast. Get ready for some 70s, not just today. 75 degrees tomorrow, 78 on Thursday, Friday. Right in the middle of your screen. Look up. Steady rainfall. That's the one rainy day in the forecast, and it does slide us back down to cooler temperatures, not only during the daytime, 60s on Saturday and Sunday, but also nighttime temperatures. We've been cold today and yesterday morning. Look at the next three, 50s to right near 60, but look at going into Monday. We do it again. We wake back up in the 30s another day here on Monday.
Weather Window, presented by the National Weather Desk.
Take a look at this frozen waterfall. The video was taken off Highway 6 in eastern Utah this past weekend. It was bright and sunny, but when this was recorded, it was -3 degrees. Also in Utah, bird song for the morning on Antelope Island in the Great Salt Lake. And then Wisconsin, sunrise over Lake Winnebago with sandhill cranes going about their daily business.
Listen to Off the Radar. New episodes every Tuesday.
Steer clear traffic for you this morning. Let's get you out to Actually, this is going to be Vietnam Vets. Vietnam Veterans Boulevard here in the Hendersonville area. Things are moving along just fine. We do have a slowdown to tell you about, though, and this one's happening on I-24 coming down from Clarksville. The information we've received is this is not a crash, and this is some type of construction going on up there, but it's certainly slowing things down in a big way. 73 minutes coming down from Clarksville right now. You can try to use Whites Creek Pike, which is right here, or Clarksville Highway, which is right here. Both of those will help you get past a lot of that congestion coming in from the north side. Now, we do have another crash we just picked up about 3 to 4 minutes ago. It's going to be Briley Parkway at I-24 coming in from Antioch. We're going to bring you pictures from there coming up in just a few.
Justin, thank you. In business news, there's a push in Washington, D.C. to potentially get rid of TikTok. But there is some bipartisan concern with how this movement is heading. So let's break it all down. Lawmakers in the House are gearing up for a floor vote Wednesday that could potentially prohibit the use of TikTok in the U.S. If the bill gets enacted, TikTok will have about 5 months or so to break away from ByteDance. ByteDance, in case you don't know, is its Chinese-linked parent company. However, senators from both parties say they'd like some changes to this legislation. TikTok has called this House bill an attack on users' free speech rights. The ACLU even issuing a statement saying a potential ban on TikTok would violate the First Amendment rights of millions of Americans. President Biden telling reporters Friday that he supports the bill and will sign it if passed. Even former President Donald Trump talking about this bill. If you'd like to see his response, read it more, go to fox17.com. Well, coming up, there is a local business throwing its hat in the ring for March Madness. Yummy. And the latest trend, a $3 tote bag costing a whole lot more on eBay, hundreds of dollars. Oof, we're going to tell you about that story for sure. And coming up on Fox 17 News this morning at 7 o'clock, our investigative reporter Kelly Avellino has...
On Coursera, you can earn Google's IT Support Professional Certificate. No prior experience needed to enroll.
My job now is amazing.
Join free at Coursera.org.
6:55 is the time. Right now we're showing you a beautiful live look at Lower Broadway. Oh my goodness, the sunrise is just spectacular. All those colors, the yellow and the orange. Want to also make sure that you are aware that we have a lot of action that is happening here in Music City starting tomorrow. Yeah, SEC men's basketball, it's happening over at Bridgestone Arena, so just be mindful of that. You're going to see a lot of basketball fans on Lower Broadway, and if you're heading out to that way, give yourself some extra time. You could see some traffic, but once again, that is just a stellar sunrise. Great way to start a Tuesday. Well, Nashville's iconic chocolate shop is jumping on the March Madness bandwagon to celebrate their favorite sweet treats. I love this story. Goo Goo Cluster, yummy, launching their inaugural challenge. It's called Goo Goo Madness, a premium showdown. Take a look at your screen. This challenge invites fans to vote for their favorite collaboration. So let's think about the Loveless Cafe biscuits and jam, or maybe Puckett's deep fried brownie sundae, and much more. Fans can vote every Monday in March, and we do have a link to make sure you know how to vote by going to fox17.com and just search Goo Goo Madness. Nearly 2/3 of fourth graders in the U.S. struggle to read at grade level, which is why our Fox 17 News and parent company Sinclair Broadcasting, we're partnering with Reading is Fundamental to support children's literacy. To get involved, scan the QR code on your screen. You probably already have your phone anyway. Scan the QR code, and that way you're able to donate to our virtual book drive. This is a consumer news head scratcher for me. Okay, the new Trader Joe's tote bag is giving the Stanley Cup craze a good run for its money. Rightfully so. Listen up. The beloved grocery store chain releasing this line of canvas bags that I'm showing you on your screen. They did this back in February, but then recently the bags have started going viral. So why? Why is that the case? Well, the original price of the tote bag is around $3, but because they sold out so quickly, some people got their hands on the tote bags and are now reselling them for a much higher price. I'm not kidding when I say this, okay? Some of the tote bags listed on eBay, Facebook, and other e-commerce sites going for $500. Okay. On March 2nd, the company released a statement saying, quote, they do not condone or support the reselling of the highly sought after bags. Greg, can you believe that?
No.
What?
I mean, I understand when some crazes are crazes, but like it's a bag.
That's highway robbery.
And it's also a mini bag. Wouldn't you want a bigger tote bag?
It doesn't make sense.
When I went to Trader Joe's, I'm not using a mini tote bag. I'm walking out of there with all my hands
next time they have these bags for sale, we're going to get all of them.
Yeah, so I'll carry around 7 mini bags instead of just 2 regular totes. Hey, to each their own, though. Also, one more QR code for you here. It'll be helpful for the rest of your week and your weekend. Temperatures are all over the place the next few days, and rain on the radar for your Friday. You can track it. You can go to the App Store, Google Play Store, scan that QR code. I'm trying to give you as many ways you can get it as possible. It really will help you out. Taking a look, weekend also could be useful because your Saturday and your Sunday, a 20% chance for rain, which means it's pretty close to zero, but a pop-up shower or two cannot be discounted. 66 degrees on Saturday, 61 on Sunday. Nearly average for the first half, the weekend, second half, not quite as great for us here. And one last look at that 7-day forecast. I'm going to tell you right now, I've got a new update of timing for Thursday into Friday when it comes to when the rain moves in and how steady it really could be. It's an update more so for Thursday. We're going to have that as we go to 7 o'clock here and become your only live and local news source through 9 o'clock. Current temps right now, right side of your screen all the way till 9 as well. We're starting off in the 30s to right near 40.
Greg, I'm not kidding about those tote bags. We got to get on this.
All right.
Hey, just about 7 o'clock, do want to bring you up to speed for a situation happening here, multi-vehicle crash. This is a live look, I-24 at Briley Parkway over in Antioch. Thankfully, though, it is over on the right shoulder. Cops are responding, so they are working on clearing this area. But you can see it's causing a bit of a brake check here. Again, I-24 Briley Parkway in Antioch. We're going to give you those detours and full traffic coming up in our 7 o'clock hour. We do want to bring you up to speed, though, with consumer news. Airbnb is banning security cameras inside its listings. The company says hosts no longer going to be allowed to have indoor security cameras in their homes. That's going to begin on April 30th. Indoor security cameras, though, were previously only allowed in hallways and living rooms as long as it was disclosed in the listings. Hosts will still be allowed, though, to use doorbell cameras and those noise decibel monitors. Stay with us. 7 o'clock hour starting right now.
You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
This is definitely the worst nightmare.
Man, an emotional Missouri family searching for their 22-year-old son who was last seen leaving a bar on Lower Broadway. We're going to tell you what Metro Police knows so far.
And after more than a week of searching, a 7-year-old is now safe and sound. We are now hearing from her family this morning as they're still trying to wrap their heads around this entire ordeal.
30s this morning, but a blast of some spring-like air for a good 4 or 5 days. I'm tracking our next weather maker that shifts everything back around to 30-degree overnight lows.
Yes, for spring-like temperatures, okay? Thank you so much for waking up with us here on a busy Tuesday morning on Fox 17 News. I'm Erica Glover.
And I am Justin McFarland. Fox 17 News, your only local news source, with you live from 7 until 9. Jen Waddell has the day off.
We're going to begin with headlines this morning. The Missouri family frantically searching for their 22-year-old son. The college student has not been seen, they say, since leaving a downtown Broadway bar. That was Friday.
Police are now working to gather more information about this man right here, Riley Strain, as his friends are looking for him. They say he was last seen at the Luke Bryant bar in downtown Nashville, just off of 3rd Avenue and Broadway. They say he was under the influence as he was headed back to his hotel, but he never made it.
Okay, so we do know his cell phone last pinged near Public Square Park that is close to the river around Woodland and Gay Streets. We're mapping it out for you. Metro Police say they are working to get surveillance video from around this area. And we're sharing photos right behind us here because if you've seen him, of course, Metro Police say give them a call immediately.
She's a very bubbly, outgoing, smart, respectful, kind, loving person.
It was an emotional moment for Anthony Crum, the biological father of a 7-year-old girl named Iris, who he says was missing for the last several days. They were reunited down in Texas at the League City Police Department, and we've got the whole moment for you.
Oh yeah, so heartwarming. Fox 17 News reporter Karen Aguilar joining us live with updates as one of the father's nightmares, Karen, finally over.
Yeah, absolutely. As you can imagine, it would be a nightmare to any parent that I've ever spoken with. But of course, that nightmare soon turned into a dream, almost unreal, as Iris Crum's father, Anthony Crum, was reunited with her for the first time on Sunday. Take a look at that emotional video on your screen. You can see Iris running into his arms and him lovingly hugging her on Sunday. They embraced for a while, and you can see the joy in her dad's eyes. The Rutherford County Sheriff's Office say they found Iris in a suburb of Houston, then took Iris's non-custodial mom, Kayla Serrata, and her husband, Ethan Serrata, into custody. Anthony Crum shares how he feels that his daughter has finally been found.
I'm overjoyed. Yeah. Understatement. Yeah. I'm overjoyed. I mean, it's been a while since I've seen her. It's been a minute since I've been able to talk to her and hold her, and I'm just extremely happy. It's been a while.
The Rutherford County Sheriff's Office says Ethan and Kalia are facing multiple charges, including custodial interference and felony aggravated kidnapping. Reporting live in Murfreesboro, Karen Aguilar, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
All right, Karen, spring break is in full swing for some students across Nashville, we have to say, okay? This week, Metro schools, Wilson County, Williamson, and Franklin schools are out. Okay, that's just a couple.
So the question is to Greg Bobus, our Code Red meteorologist, who's right here in the middle. What can we expect for the forecast moving forward here?
Get the kids outside.
Yes.
I'll say that right now.
That's what moms want to hear.
Get the kids outside. Perfect weather today, tomorrow. Only roadblock's going to be on Friday. So enjoy the next couple of days for what they are. Let's just get right to it and take a look at where we're starting off here, because now it's going to be deceiving walking out the door the next hour. We're going to be a little bit on the cold side, but the three things to know. Last cold morning for the next 7 days. Spring feeling temperatures. They arrive once again this afternoon. We got a little tease of it yesterday. Today it takes over. 70s will be your temperatures today, and then going into tomorrow, Thursday, and Friday. All of those days hitting the 70-degree mark. Heavy rain, though, does arrive later on this week. 1 to 2 inches of some rainfall cannot be ruled out. Actually, it's very likely we at least hit that 1-inch mark across most of the viewing area. Taking a look, temperatures right now at 38 degrees in Nashville, 33 in Murfreesboro, 30 in Tullahoma, and 32 in Lebanon. So off to a cold start. Afternoon will put us up to 70. Here is your 7-day forecast. I'll tell you right now, this is a good one here. For the kids that are on spring break, there's no excuse to not go outside and, burn off a little bit of energy. 71 this afternoon, 75 tomorrow, 78 on Thursday. There is a tiny chance for a passing shower or two on the radar. Morning into early afternoon for Thursday. Don't cancel plans, though. In the evening, looking dry. Friday, steady rainfall moves in, morning into the afternoon, and not really wrapping up until later in the day. So that is the rainiest day of the next 7. It also knocks the temperatures back down out of the 70s and into the 60s for both days of your weekend. And we'll get a real good look at future track here coming up in a few minutes to time out that Thursday into Friday for you.
Still clear traffic out there for you this morning. Let's get the latest look happening here at I-24 at Briley Parkway. As you make that drive in from the Antioch area, you can see it for yourself. Traffic pulled over there to the shoulder because of a crash. I saw the car there in the middle of the screen on the shoulder of the road. It was so banged up, it was dragging what looked to be the muffler or something back behind it as it was pulling over there to the shoulder. So it's going to need a tow truck before it's all said and done. Could cause a bit of a backup as you make your way out and about, so heads up on that. Other things we're following includes the slowdown coming in from Clarksville, 73 minutes right now. Could be some construction happening there causing this slowdown. We'll tell you more as soon as we get more.
Justin, thank you. We were also following international headlines on Fox 17 News as we learn more about a military plane crash over in Russia. The Russian Defense Ministry says there were 15 people on board when the plane crashed in the area north of Moscow. The Defense Ministry has reported dozens of attacks on Russia by Ukrainian drones in the past. However, they believe this morning's crash was because of an engine fire during takeoff.
Suddenly started shooting once he got just inside.
Looking ahead, we have an update to a story we first shared as breaking news. The man accused of shooting 2 women and a child in South Nashville before ending his own life has now been identified. We're going to have some more updates in about 2 minutes.
Plus, Tennessee's education commissioner is facing some hard questions about a possible
in their crawl space. But don't worry, we got this.
At AFS, we'll do a home inspection for free.
This Fox 17 This Morning newscast is sponsored by Tennessee Home Buyers.
7:09 is the time. State lawmakers are asking some tough questions to education officials about the governor's proposed school choice program. And that program would use tax dollars to help send students from public schools to private schools. Now, during a hearing on Monday, one House member had some pretty direct questions to the Tennessee Education Commissioner about the program, and the answer took a little while. Listen.
When they leave, if they get in this program and leave and go to the private school, then of course the public school is affected by dollars because their child have left. Is that correct?
So because this is and I'm trying to the reason I'm providing this caveat is because I'm addressing the way our budget is working. And so the way our budget works is the 775 would be separate, so that money would attach to that child. Yes, if that child leaves the school, then they are no longer generating dollars for that school.
Well, that's good. Right.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you heard her there, kind of, okay. There's a Senate version of this bill as well that's also getting lots of questions. We'll let you know when they're finally able to put both of these bills together to give everyone something to look at, ask questions about, and eventually vote on. Crisis in the Classroom is Fox 17 News' commitment to exposing problems in our schools and finding solutions. If you think you have a story that we should know about, then we are asking you to send us an email. You can reach us at news@fox17.com, or you can call our tip line. Leave us a message, 615-266-4149.
7-11, taking a look at your forecast and fast forwarding to that Thursday, Friday rain that will change our nice spring pattern back to where we're supposed to be in March. Thursday into Friday, scattered rain showers, 1 to 2 inches of rain. Let's take you right to Friday when most of that comes down. Your Thursday, hit and miss light rainfall. Here's 8 a.m. on Friday. Waking up, I'm actively tracking rain for you as we're starting our day on Friday. Moving throughout the afternoon hours, rain will continue in bands of it. At times it will be a little bit heavier, and the heavy pockets are going to meander across southern Kentucky and middle Tennessee throughout the course of the afternoon. Now here's when it changes. We get 4, 5, 6 o'clock into the evening hours, and most of our rain begins to linger more south of I-40 through 7 o'clock and then continues to stay south through about midnight. That's how we're looking for it here. Our dog of the day, we've got Samuel, sent in by Shay Taylor. 42 degrees at 9 a.m., 61 at noon, 69 degrees at 3 p.m. Nothing getting in the way of your dog walk this morning. Everything looks good, so enjoy it for what it is. If you don't want to get out in the 30s right now and you can wait a little longer, 61 by noon, and again 67 at 2 o'clock. Most of our afternoon hours, upper 60s to right near 70 degrees.
Coming up next on Fox 17 News this morning, we've got the very latest on your steer clear traffic. A crash coming in from Antioch. We'll tell you more about that.
I'm a small business owner myself, so my heart's out for them.
And things are beefing up, shall we say, in one neighborhood. An East Nashville woman is now
This is better.
With the Planet Fitness Black Card, you can bring a friend for free anytime and enjoy access to the Black Card Spa. Join now for $1 down, $24.99 a month. Cancel anytime. Deal ends March 15th.
7:15 is the time, and right now we do have an update this morning on a story we first shared with you as breaking news. Metro Police have now identified the man accused of shooting 2 women and a child in South Nashville before ultimately ending his own life. A tough story to share with you. But police do say the gunman was 25-year-old Emilio Ramirez Lopez. They say Lopez shot his 31-year-old ex-girlfriend and her 7-year-old son. The ex-girlfriend's 21-year-old cousin was also shot. We're told the ex-girlfriend does remain in critical condition this morning. Her son and the 21-year-old woman are reportedly doing okay. This investigation, though, is ongoing.
As many parents and students are enjoying some time off, you may be looking at doing a little spring shopping. Well, the Clarksville Police Department is issuing a warning this morning about that. Authorities say they have received an influx of calls about online shopping scams. Facebook Marketplace and other social media platforms can be a useful tool to buy, sell, or trade items. However, it can also be used to scam individuals out of money and goods. So as a reminder, if you're scrolling through your favorite social media sites, please be careful with the kind of information that you share.
Yeah, certainly keep that in mind. Hey, got beef? That's the question. Well, the community is coming together to back Roy Meat Service after the lawsuit has cost them more than $20,000. There is an East Nashville woman who is suing the restaurant and meat market next to her home because she says the smells, in her words, are unbearable. Well, the neighbors suing last January, but the Roy family has owned this business for about a decade or so. The case summary identifies the complainant as Natalie Castillo. Documents do show that she started complaining about the smell of meat back in June of 2021, about a year and a half before the lawsuit. There are other members of the community who say it's not fair that this business is a staple in this community and that they have to go through this.
It's a neighborhood staple.
And I think it's very unfair to them to have to do that. You know, they've had this business, they do things for the community, and for people to just come in and put them through that is just wrong.
Well, yeah, we're getting some responses from folks in the community saying they don't agree with this. Fox 17 News also reached out to Natalie Castillo, who filed the complaint, the lawsuit, but she deferred us to her attorney. Other close neighbors have began rallying together to help that business. They also set up a GoFundMe, and so far they've raised about $28,000.
All right, Greg Bobus is here right now with our spring-like forecast because it's not spring yet. We're still winter, technically.
Technically speaking, we are until next week. Yeah, you'd never know it if you walked outside. You'd go, ooh, okay. 70s, I'll take it. This is definitely not winter-like weather. The morning a little bit cold, but you know what? This is what I'm doing later. I'm firing up the grill. Take a look at this. I mean, it's going to be a great afternoon. Go there, get the veggies, get the meat. Also, grilled fruit is delicious. Try watermelon if you never have. Grilling with Greg here today. Here's your forecast. 69 degrees at 5 o'clock, 67 at 6, and 63 degrees at 7. Sunshine the entire time. I always check for wind when I talk about grilling, too. We have no wind that we have to worry about, too, so that flame should be nice and consistent. If this is an outdoor eating day for you, go for it. Take a look. Beautiful picture, just like yesterday morning where we started off cold, but we were sunny. In the afternoon, got really warm. Maybe you're not eating outside, but you're looking at your car and it looks sad. And you want to get a little car wash in, whether you're doing it by yourself or going through the car wash today. Yes. Tomorrow, yes. Thursday, I'd say wait. Wait until the end of the weekend. Decent amount of rain moves in on Friday for us here in the forecast. Take a look at the extended forecast. 71 degrees. That's today. That is this afternoon. And we're going to be in the upper 60s most of our afternoon. 75 on Wednesday, 78 degrees on Thursday. And then that weather maker moves in on Friday. That's the focal point of the forecast right in the middle of your screen where our temperatures go back from the 70s into the 60s. I want to talk nighttime real quick. Yesterday, you woke up in the 30s. This morning, you woke up in the 30s. Tomorrow morning, you'll wake up near 50 degrees. So make sure you're dressing accordingly. If you're walking outside in the heaviest winter coat you got, you're going to be a little too warm the next few mornings.
Still clear traffic this morning. Let's get you out to the very latest going on I-24. This is very close to the Briley Parkway area there on I-24. Got a dump truck involved with a couple of other vehicles. This has been over there on the shoulder for a little while. THP has already come and gone from this scene. They're waiting on a tow truck, I would think, to try and get some of these crashed up cars out of the way, causing minor delays at best as you make your way in. This is I-24 at Bell Road, just a couple of miles behind this crash. This was very slow a short time ago. Glad to see things have cleared up here. We're also dealing with one more slowdown, and that's coming in from Clarksville. Had some construction going on up that direction, slowing things down coming down from Clarksville. 73 minutes on that drive right now. They've got things closed down to one lane certain sections while they try to clean some things up in that area. Well, the King Henry era appears to be over in Nashville. We've got a look at who can be set to take the crown.
Okay, and listen to this. After the break, we're going to
art admirers and stage lovers, this city's cultural adventures will leave you spellbound. Plan your trip at charlottesgotalot.com.
Okay, you hear the music. Let's talk about the Titans. New this Tuesday morning, our Tennessee Titans are reportedly going to be moving on from star running back Derrick Henry. Yeah, the Associated Press says the Titans have now come to terms with ex-Dallas Cowboys running back Tony Pollard. Now, while no deal can officially be made until Wednesday, there is an AP source that says Pollard and the Titans agreed yesterday rather, to a 3-year deal worth $24 million. Now, he ran more than 1,000 yards last season and scored 6 touchdowns. We're taking a look at, what he did in the past and talking about how it's going to be Derrick Henry's first time entering the free agency. All of this to say that we're going to now ask you this question. Okay, what do you think? That's what we want to know. Is Tony Pollard a good signing for the Titans? The poll right now is live and you have plenty of time to cast your vote, but 66% of you all say yes. This is a good move. Be sure to let us know what you think by going to our Fox Nashville X account and going to our Fox Nashville Facebook page. Okay, we want to check in now, 7:24. Greg, can we mention once more, it is National
Working Moms Day.
Working Moms Day. So round of applause to all the moms.
And I mean, moms are always working even when they're not working.
Oh, I know.
They never stop. So thank you all for working for us just to make our lives so much easier in ways that we sometimes don't always tell you thank you for. 71 degrees, your temperature later on this afternoon. Frosty start, but really nice afternoon. 71, you can't beat that this time of the year when you're supposed to easily be in the low 60s. So we'll call it a perfect day. However, pollen could be an issue for a few of you allergy sufferers. I've got them too. It's not fun. Just know that it'll get a little bit better on Friday. Sunset for us going to be at 6:52. That extra daylight, starting to get used to it a little bit here. Don't mind it at all when it's that warm out there. You can take a look at the QR code on your screen. That's how you get the Fox 17 17 Code Red weather app, useful no matter where you are at. A lot of kids on spring break right now. A lot of traveling happening in the next month for other school districts that take spring break. If you say fly to Florida or you're on the East Coast anywhere, you go to the Pacific Northwest, that Doppler radar is still accurate 24/7 no matter where you're at.
That forecast, Greg, has a lot of moms feeling very happy that the kids can go outside today. All right, at 7:25, let's get another update for this crash happening in Antioch, I-24 Briley Parkway, and you can see it right here on your screen, I should say. It involves two vehicles and a dump truck. The good news is it is not causing any kind of real backup here. No serious brake check. It's on the right shoulder. Police are there. They're trying to clear this scene, but it's going to take a moment. Again, this is Antioch. Give yourself a little bit of extra time if you're going to I-24 at Briley Parkway. In your community, I love this story. There are 7 new Tennessee state parks that are getting these new all-terrain wheelchairs. They're going to make it easier for folks with mobility issues to get outside and enjoy some parks. Those additional parks, by the way, do include Natchez Trace, Cummins Falls, and Long Hunter State Parks. Those special wheelchairs are available to check out. This announcement comes just as Tennessee marks Disability Advocacy Day. A call for change when it comes to sexual harassment, who some state lawmakers want to put in charge of those claims at the legislature. And the spring and summer installment of the Flying Solo series at Nashville International.
Scan the QR code to book your standard chimney service online. Chim Chimney, where your comfort is our priority.
You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
Coming up, hear from the biological father of 7-year-old Iris Crum following their emotional reunion.
Forecast very spring-like here on our Tuesday, up near 70 degrees. However, I am tracking a weather maker by the end of the week. We'll have the timeline in your forecast.
Steer clear traffic takes us to 24 at Briley Parkway in Antioch. You can see it for yourself. Things are a little bit slow. We're going to tell you the best way to steer clear of this mess.
All right, today is the day to get outside and enjoy some sunshine. But first, thank you so much for waking up with us on Fox 17 News this Tuesday morning. I'm Erica Glover.
And I'm Justin McFarland. Fox 17 News, of course, your only live and local news source with you from 7 until 9. Well, safe at home. We've got an update this morning on a 7-year-old girl, Iris Crum, who was returned and reunited with her father after going missing for about a week. She was found down in Texas.
Yeah, and it was all caught on camera. Right now, Fox 17 News' Karen Aguilar joining us live with some more information and, you know, where they're at now. Good morning, Karen.
Good morning. Iris's dad, Anthony, tells me that he is overjoyed to have his little girl back in his arms after officials say that she went missing right here where I'm standing in this area of Blue Fox Trail in Murfreesboro. He talked to me in his car over the cell phone, and Iris was in his backseat smiling from ear to ear. Take a look at the emotional video of them being reunited in Texas. You can see Iris running into his arms and him lovingly hugging her on Sunday. They embraced for quite a while, and you can see the joy in her dad's eyes. The Rutherford County Sheriff's Office says they found Iris in a suburb of Houston, then took Iris's non-custodial mom, Kayla Serrata, and her husband, Ethan Serrata, into custody. Anthony Crum shares how he feels that his daughter has finally been found.
It's kind of hard to put words to that, you know. It's just man, the way she ran up to me after she realized it was me, it was phenomenal.
The Rutherford County Sheriff's Office says that Ethan and Kayla are facing multiple charges, including custodial interference and felony aggravated kidnapping. Reporting live in Murfreesboro, Karen Aguilar, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
All right, thank you, Karen. In Operation Crime and Justice, Metro Police have now arrested a man who's accused of kidnapping and assaulting a woman he already knew.
Yeah, police say 24-year-old James Greer was last seen leaving a gas station on Old Hickory Boulevard and then fighting a woman in his car.
Now, that woman's family was able to track her location as police followed nearby. Police officers say they were able to find a pistol that was thrown out of that car at 13th Avenue South at Broadway. Police caught Greer as he ran away from that car.
The woman was taken to the hospital, and Greer is now facing multiple serious charges.
We also have an update this morning out of Springfield. That is where police say that a man is facing homicide charges for the shooting death of at least 2 women on Sunday.
The women were found shot in a parked car Sunday afternoon. So right now, take a look at your screen. We are sharing this video of the scene shared by Smoky Barn News, okay? Police say 26-year-old Monray Vontez Johnson is from Nashville and now facing charges.
Well, covering the Capitol this morning, there is a bill that would put the Attorney General of the state of Tennessee in charge of sexual harassment complaints at the state legislature.
Right now, those complaints are investigated by House and Senate members, and critics say we have to take politics out of this.
Now, the bill is sponsored by a rare combination of House members. We're talking about Republican Representative Todd Warner of Chapel Hill and Democrat Representative Afton Bain of Nashville. They want to appoint an impartial liaison to the AG's office to handle these types of claims from start to finish.
This bill will create transparency. It will create a fair process for the accused, but most of all, it will protect the victim.
This is a crucial step that is driven by a shared commitment to ensuring a transparent and impartial review process free from the influence of legislative leadership.
Now, last year, State Representative Scotty Campbell of Mountain City resigned after 2 interns accused him of sexual harassment. The investigation was done in secret, and members are not allowed to comment on their particular deliberations during that hearing.
Right now, we're going to check in with our Code Red meteorologist, Greg. I don't think you heard me, but now I'm getting messages about Morse code because of your question of the day.
Are you really?
Yes.
Oh, there you go. The more you know, yes. And we're going to get to our question of the day, which does involve Morse code before we even get to the 8 o'clock hour. So stick around for that. What is new this morning when it comes to the forecast? It's going to be great this afternoon. Last chilly morning this week. Tomorrow morning, 50. Taking a look. Very quick afternoon warm up. We'll be back up to near 60 early afternoon, right near 70 middle of the afternoon. All clear, no code red. Sunglasses and some heavy coats for just right now. The afternoon might even be t-shirts for many of us, depending upon what that comfort level is, right around 70. 38 right now. Nowhere near 70 yet. We're at 34 in Murfreesboro, 32 in Columbia, and 30 in Tullahoma. No wind, so no wind chill, but definitely a cold start. We had a clear night. We have the sunshine all day long. It is already up for us here, has been for about a half hour. Get the kids outside. If they're on spring break right now and they're already kind of maybe, I wouldn't say annoying you, but maybe you want to get a little energy out. Afternoon. Backyard forecast, 61 degrees at noon, 69 degrees at 3 p.m. Find an excuse to get outside for a little bit. Coming up in the next check of your forecast, we will get to your 7-day, which does involve some rain on Friday, and get to your curious question. Morse code coming your way.
Steer clear traffic this morning gets us to the very latest happening on I-24 Broadley Parkway. This is in Antioch. You can see for yourself the Tennessee Department of the Tennessee Highway Patrol. They're run by the Department of Safety. They are there on the side of the road there with the dump truck and a couple of other vehicles involved in a crash from earlier in the morning. Everything is fine. It's off to the shoulder, not causing big delays. And really, there are not a lot of big delays anywhere out there. It's a calm morning. Mount Juliet into downtown at 27 minutes. Murfreesboro staying tame this morning, 61 minutes on that drive. Hendersonville into downtown at 30 minutes. A lot of this has to do with spring break, and it is kind of throwing our traffic patterns a little bit off this morning, so we're doing much better than we normally would be.
Well, talking about spring break, check this out. If you plan on traveling, you're going to see some changes over at Nashville's International Airport.
More changes, you mean?
More changes, yeah. The fresh flying solo art exhibits have arrived over at the airport, and we're showing you some examples right here on your screen, so go ahead and take a look. Multiple Nashville-based artists' creations are featured in popular rotating art exhibits. The new exhibits, though, only going to be on display through the 23rd of June.
Now, the artwork on display will include some paintings and photographs, also blown glass pieces as well, all on display over at B&A.
Searching for their missing son, a Missouri family trying to figure out where 22-year-old Riley Strain could be this morning after he went missing over the weekend. Fox 17 News, we are bringing you the very latest updates on this ongoing search with Kelly Avellino.
And we're watching both the traffic and the weather out there for you this morning as you take a live look over the capital city of the state of Tennessee.
Mind of never paying us a fee unless we get money for you. Get Hughes and Coleman and get it done.
This Fox 17 This Morning newscast is sponsored by Southeast Financial Credit Union.
7:40 is the time. Welcome back to Fox 17 News this morning. We want to give you an update about some Middle Tennessee lane closures that are scheduled for this week. Here is a list of the closures right here and some of the areas that it could affect. That includes Dickson County, Williamson County, Cheatham County, and of course Metro Nashville, along places like I-40 and I-65. This is all due to a lot of different reasons like bridge repair or the expansion of the SmartWay Intelligence Transportation System. They are going to be making some improvements out there, they believe, over the next couple of days. Now, TDOT is also working to repair potholes that continue to plague Middle Tennessee. To report a pothole, you should know the location, the route, the mile marker, and a nearby cross street if you can. And then you can call the TDOT Road Repair Hotline at 833-TDOT-FIX or the website as well. Nashville DOT has a website where you can report things to. You can get lists and links to all of this over at fox17.com, including where you can claim if your file a claim rather if your car is damaged out there this morning. All right, let's check in with the weather forecast.
All right, listen to this. This winter was apparently the warmest on record when we talk about the U.S. According to NOAA. I know you're scratching your head.
Yeah.
All right.
No,
okay.
it's true. It's just tough, yeah.
Yeah, the records date back to the 1800s. In fact, winter has become the fastest warming season for nearly 75% of the country.
Yeah,
Ooh.
and this is the catch for December especially. It was a full 7 degrees above average.
Oh, but I was still cold.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
I'm just saying.
Perspective at that point. February finished as the 3rd warmest on record.
Listen, none of us are going to complain about warm temperatures today because we're going to have sunshine, no rain. I'm thinking Cheekwood. I'm thinking kids outside.
Yeah.
Moms just
Schools
relaxing.
that are still in session after school practices.
Yes.
So no complaining about warmth today. Now, when it's 90 degrees 17 times in the summer in a row, then we can complain about temperature a little bit. Taking a look here, what we're watching. Scattered showers for your Thursday and Friday, 1 to 2 inches of rain. Most of that coming down Friday morning into the afternoon and slowly dying down during the evening. That's what we're starting here on Future Track. 8 a.m. taking you into the afternoon hours, and there will be batches of rain that move in. Not raining all day, all the time for us, but starting in the morning as you're waking up until we get past sunset. Here's 7 o'clock, still a good amount of rain south of I-40. Just keep that in mind. It's going to be a very active day for us. And as Erica was alluding to, my curious question of the day. In 2009, what became the first Morse code character to be added to the system since World War II? The @ symbol, the pound key, the $, or the question mark? I have the answer coming up for you in less than 5 minutes.
Well, also coming up right here on Fox 17 News this morning, we've got the latest on your steer clear traffic as you watch things flow in at I-40 at Fessler's Lane.
APR financing, or get up to $1,000 APR cash on Grand Highlander, plus 2 years no-cost maintenance.
Ready, set, go get your Toyota today.
Toyota, let's go places.
7:45 is the time here on this Tuesday morning. It's been 4 days now since a 22-year-old college student was last seen walking out of a bar in downtown Nashville on Broadway.
Yeah, Riley Strain has not been seen since late Friday night. His family desperately now trying to find him. Their search efforts continue this morning.
Fox 17 News' Kelly Avellino spoke with Riley's family yesterday. And Kelly, what are they telling you about his disappearance?
Well, obviously, guys, this is a gut-wrenching situation for this family. They came here very quickly after they realized that Riley was missing. His phone did ping several blocks from the bar not long after he left, and then for nothing has been heard from him for days. Now, Riley is a senior finance major at the University of Missouri. He came here with his fraternity brothers for a convention. Riley did have too much to drink at Luke Bryan's bar Friday night. Staff did ask him to leave. There was no hostility there, but when Riley did leave, he told his friends that he was going to walk back to their hotel about 5 blocks away. Now, he was alone, unfortunately. His phone tracking shows that he went in the exact opposite direction, leading him to the area by Public Square Park near the river. His phone pinging from 2 different apps and Verizon's cell tower as well in that immediate area about a half hour later. But then again, nothing for days now. His phone has not been active since. Riley's family driving 6 hours to Nashville immediately the next day to help in the search. They told us what it would mean to find Riley.
Everything.
Mean the world. We need him back.
He's my baby.
Now, Metro Police and the family have confirmed that they have combed the downtown area, parking garages by the river, hospitals, and still no sign of Riley at this point.
Hearing from that mom is gut-wrenching. I want to know what's happening in the search efforts today.
Okay, well, I'm told that they will be searching potentially by the water again. Detectives are still combing all surveillance video that they can find. Again, a whole lot of video to go through from bars in different areas downtown. They're also waiting on court documents so they can get access to Riley's bank card transactions as well as his Apple Watch. So certainly, if anyone sees him, please call Metro Police immediately. He is over 6'5".
Yeah.
So
you can recognize him
he
easily.
should stand out, and we're praying for him.
Yeah.
Of course, so we're all hoping for a safe return wherever he may be. All right, thank you, Kelly. We appreciate that.
Right now, though, we're going to check in with our Code Red meteorologist for that Tuesday forecast.
Yes, we are. We're starting off in the 30s on the right side of your screen. And the last thing I asked you was question of the day. My curious question. In 2009, what became the first Morse code character to be added to the system since World War II? Was it the @ sign, the pound key? Was it the dollar symbol? Or was it the question mark? And one might have thought, oh, pound symbol, aka hashtag. Nope, it was the @ symbol that was added. And I don't even know how to do regular Morse code much. I'll start putting in the symbols. Taking a look here out the door this morning for you. We are kicking off the day with 30s into right near the 40-degree temperature range in the next 2 hours, and then 50 degrees by 10 o'clock. Sunshine has taken over, and it's winning the game here today and most of tomorrow as well. Next, weather-maker moves in Thursday. Light, small, very hit-and-miss rain showers throughout the morning and afternoon. We'll dry out for the evening of your Thursday, and then Friday we bring back more showers, and even a couple of rumbles of thunder can't be ruled out. No severe weather, but 1 to 2 inches of rain are going to be likely between Friday and Saturday. Majority of that's going to come down on Friday itself. Keep that in mind. That's the rainiest day of the next 7, but it also still includes a 70-degree high. Look at the next 4 days. 71 today, 75 tomorrow, 78 degrees on your Thursday, and 70 for Friday. And if you're over all this 30-degree stuff in the morning waking up to, because it's just too cold, it's dark out, that extra hour, we're done with that for a few days. Tomorrow morning, most of us don't dip down below 50 degrees as you're waking up.
Steer clear traffic out there this morning. We continue to follow the scenes happening out there. This is going to be I-40 at Fessler's Lane. No big problems over there in that area just east of downtown. We're following an earlier crash happening up near the Clarksville area where they were doing some construction. Looks like that too has cleared up. This is 24 at Bell Road in the Antioch area. We just received word of a possible crash in this area. Haven't seen it on our cameras yet, but we just got word from Metro Police about a possible crash there about 2 to 3 minutes ago. So we'll wait and see how serious that could be. Other than that, your drive times relatively tame coming in this morning, especially from the Murfreesboro area. That is the one that could really jump up right now. We're sitting good at 61 minutes.
This month, Fox 17 News and our parent company are supporting literacy efforts. That's because 43 million adults in this country either can't read or barely can.
Well, a recent study finds that 80% of people believe that improving youth literacy is the answer. Fox 17 News' Amanda Chen tells us about the impact of Dollar General's Literacy Foundation.
By 2023, Abigail of Middle Tennessee began reading on her grade level, a 14-level increase from where she began. That's because she began participating in the YMCA Y Literacy program in 2019.
Literacy is so important and so powerful, right? There are very few gifts that you can give that last a lifetime, but literacy is one of them, and a great education. And if you want to have a great education, that begins with the ability to read well. That's the foundation of all other academic success.
That's just one example of how the Dollar General Literacy Foundation helps students learn to read, specifically by partnering with nonprofits all across the country. The foundation, started by Dollar General's co-founder, who was functionally illiterate, also supports schools and libraries and their efforts to increase access to literacy programming. So far, the foundation has invested more than $230 million in programs and has helped more than 20 million people of all ages.
When you open doorways that help people learn to read, bright futures happen, great things start to happen. And so there's a lot of power in literacy and education. So we hope other people will get as excited about it as we are and join in the movement.
But that's not all. The Dollar General Literacy Foundation teamed up with Discover Education and the National After School Association to create Discover Literacy, a program to support the development of literacy skills for children in kindergarten through second grade. The program offers teachers, students, and caregivers access to in-school and after-school digital resources at no cost.
It's going to take all of us to get our students to the grade level they need to be successful. It's going to take all of us equipping our teachers so that they can help their students be successful.
While the foundation has been able to put more than 2 million books into the hands of children across 16 states through Reading is Fundamental, the program is far from done. I'm Amanda Chan reporting for Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Now, as we told you, almost 2/3 of fourth graders in the United States struggle to read at grade level. That is why Fox 17 and our parent company, Sinclair Broadcast, are partnering up with Reading is Fundamental to support children's literacy. Just scan the QR code that you see right there on the corner of your screen, and that is the best way you can join our virtual book drive.
Just ahead, I got some bad news to share for J-Lo fans. The singer has canceled her upcoming stop to Music City. I know. Jenny from the...
Buy more, you save more with up to $1,000 off your purchase. Or finance your new furniture with a low monthly payment and 0% interest for 7 years. Shop your local Ashley store today.
Just about 7:57, and we do have some more breaking news regarding U.S. inflation that was up again in February, and the latest sign that price pressures remain elevated, unfortunately. Prices rose 0.4% from January to February. That's a pickup from the previous month's figure at 0.3%. Though pressures have significantly eased, average prices remain about 17% above where they stood 3 years ago.
Well, go ahead and admit it. You've already finished off that first box of Thin Mints.
2 over here.
Come on now.
Okay.
2 or 3 that you were able to get from your neighborhood Girl Scout. Well, the organization is much more than just cookies, you know. Today is National Girl Scouts Day, and the day recognizes the group that was founded back on March the 12th of 1912. The organization began as a way for girls to take part in service projects and outdoor adventures. They are supporting the Girl Scout. The way you can support a Girl Scout is pretty easy. You can volunteer to be a leader, you can donate to your local troop, or you can simply buy more cookies because one can never have enough of the do-si-dos. That's my personal favorite. It's the do-si-dos. Yeah, that's what I like.
I did not know they've been around since 1912.
That makes them 112 then.
Wow.
112 years old.
Let's celebrate with cookies.
Yes.
That's about how many cookies I'm going to eat before this season's over with. I'm selling them. Taking a look
One for
here.
each year.
Seriously. Doppler radar looking purely clean for us here. We have nothing but blue sky out there. Temperatures are already climbing thanks to it. It's going to take a little while to get back up to 70 later on today, but we will. You can also scan the QR code right there on your screen. This is very helpful this time of the year. Spring break, people coming into town. You might be leaving town, whether it's driving, whether it's flying. You'll get the local Doppler radar wherever you're at across the entire country. Really useful. Also great here back home. If you're going nowhere, we have rain on Friday. You can use the Doppler here as well, and our temperatures are all over the place the next couple of days when it comes to high temperatures and lows. You woke up this morning in the middle 30s, and now we're going to be up to 70 this afternoon, only down to 50 overnight. Looking at your weekend, your Saturday, 66 degrees, and 61 degrees on Sunday. Both days not bad, just not as warm as every day leading up to the weekend. We'll be at or above 70 today through Friday, and we'll time out rain for Thursday and Friday as we go into our 8 o'clock half hour. Justin.
Steer clear traffic out there for you this morning. Let's take a good look at what we're dealing with here at I-24 at Briley Parkway as you make that drive into town. Looks like the dump truck and the other vehicles that are involved with this crash is finally out of here. So that is great news. So hopefully we can see some traction with your traffic out there now that that's gone. We're going to tell you the very latest with everything else happening in our 8 o'clock hour.
Listen up, music fans. It does appear Jennifer Lopez has canceled her upcoming tour stop in Nashville. That's according to Ticketmaster's website. J-Lo is set to perform at Bridgestone Arena August 22nd, but the Nashville show is among 5 shows listed as canceled on Ticketmaster. So if you purchased your ticket, you can get a refund. Find the details at fox17.com.
You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
This is definitely the worst nightmare.
A Missouri family searching for their 22-year-old son who was last seen leaving a Lower Broadway bar. What Metro Police know so far.
And after more than a week of searching for a 7-year-old, we now know that this little girl is safe and sound. We are hearing from her family this morning as they're still trying to wrap their head around this entire ordeal. Greg?
And we are waking up here in a spring-like pattern for each afternoon, but I am tracking a new update to Friday rain and what it means for your upcoming weekend in your forecast.
Okay, thank you so much for waking up with us here bright and early on a Tuesday morning. For Fox 17 News, I'm Erica Glover.
And I am Justin McFarland. Jen Waddell has the day off, but Fox 17 News is here with you with your only live and local news source 7 until 9.
We're going to get right to our big story today, making headlines this morning. A Missouri family is frantically searching for their 22-year-old son. The college student, they say, has not been seen since leaving a Lower Broadway bar Friday.
Now, if we want to take a look at the pictures here, police are working to gather more details about the information surrounding 22-year-old Riley Strand, as his family and friends say he was last seen just off of Broadway at the Luke Bryan Bar. This was just a few days ago. They say he left under the influence and was trying to go back to the hotel, but never made it.
Well, his cell phone last pinged near Public Square Park. That's close to the river around Woodland and Gay Streets. We're mapping it out for you. Metro Police now working on getting surveillance videos from this area.
Now we have photos right here behind us to show you exactly who authorities and this frantic family is looking for right now. If you have any information, you're asked to contact Metro Police.
Well, it was an emotional moment for Anthony Crum. That is the biological father of 7-year-old Iris Crum. He was reunited with his daughter in Texas, right near Houston. The police department giving us some more updates from there.
Fox 17 News' Karen Aguilar joins us live this morning with the update as one father's nightmare is finally over.
Good morning, Justin and Jen. Excuse me. Good morning, Justin and Erica. Iris Crum's father, Anthony, spoke to me on his cell phone in his car with Iris in the back seat, smiling from ear to ear. He tells me he is so relieved that his little girl is back with him after she had been missing for more than a week. She was last seen in this cul-de-sac that I'm standing in on Blue Fox Trail in Murfreesboro. Take a look at the emotional video of them being reunited in Texas on Sunday. You can see the little girl running into his arms and him lovingly hugging her. They embraced for a while, and you can see the joy in her dad's eyes. Rutherford County Sheriff's Office, they found Iris in a suburb of Houston, then arrested Iris's mom, Kayla Serrata, who does not have custody, and her husband, Ethan Serrata. Anthony Crum shares how he feels that his daughter has been found.
I'm overjoyed. Yeah.
Understatement.
Yeah. I'm overjoyed. I mean, it's been a while since I've seen her. It's been a minute since I've been able to talk to her and hold her, and I'm just extremely happy. It's been a while.
The Rutherford County Sheriff's Office says that Kayla and Ethan are facing multiple charges, including custodial interference and felony aggravated kidnapping. A hearing is set for Ethan's charges on May 13th at the General Sessions Court. Reporting live in Murfreesboro, Karen Aguilar, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Karen, thank you so much for that update. Well, spring break is in full swing for at least a couple of students across the mid-state.
Well, this week alone, it's Metro, it's Wilson County, Williamson County, Franklin Special School District. They are all out, just to name a few. So can we get the spring-like weather to go with the spring break?
The world's worst thing is when you have spring break and it's like 40 degrees outside and raining, and we have none of that. We have 70s every day, all the way through Friday. So if this is the week of spring break, kids can get outside and enjoy themselves.
Man, I'm thinking about the parents who are going to save money because the kids then hopefully won't be inside eating all the snacks.
And also going to bed quickly too because they're tired from the day.
That's
the
right.
whole 9 yards. Here we go.
Burn them out.
And you can do that every single day. We'll take a look here. The big 3 things to know this morning. Last cold morning for the next 7 days. You made it through yesterday in the 30s. We're making it through today in the 30s, and then that's it. 50-degree temperatures overnight starting tomorrow morning. It's great. Feeling like spring, absolutely above average across the board. And if we can sneak away from rain in a few pockets on Thursday, and it's not a washout, so don't start worrying about canceling plans. There will be a couple of showers on Thursday. If we can see some areas that get no rain whatsoever, you might hit 80. Thursday. Heavy rain arrives though Friday, and then it just turns off all the spring-like weather. We go back to cold nights. We go back to cooler afternoons for Saturday and Sunday, and that continues into next week as well. So let's focus on the good. Right now we're at 37. We're not quite warming up just yet. We've only had the sun up for an hour. Let it do its job like it did yesterday, and here's when you can get to the backyard. 61 degrees at noon, 69 degrees at 3 p.m. Any outdoor activity will be comfortable because the humidity is down, but also if you have allergies, whether that be grass, trees, pollen in general, allergies are already tough. Just keep that in the back of your mind. This is that warm stretch that starts to get everything to bloom and blossom here. The forecast overall, your 7-day, not going to hide it from you. Let's just get to it. 71 degrees today, 75 tomorrow, 78 on Thursday, and then Friday, 70 degrees. That is the next weather maker. That's the focus of the next check of your Code Red forecast. We'll time it out for you.
8:06 is the time. Let's take a quick look at what we're dealing with your traffic out there. Let's go to I-24 Bradley Parkway. This is coming in from the Antioch area. Traffic is moving along just fine. We are dealing with the leftovers of a crash that happened earlier this morning that involved a dump truck at one point, but they've gotten most of that moved out of the way. Now you're just looking at THP waiting on a tow truck to remove the last car before we're completely free of that. Let's check in near the airport. I-40 at Dallas and Pike, close to B&A, also doing just fine out there this morning. Just checked on the big board out there. Only one delay out there. There's a United Airlines flight that was supposed to leave to San Francisco about an hour and a half ago that's still on the ground. Other than that, you're doing fine, except for those folks trying to get to San Francisco.
Suddenly started shooting once he got just inside.
Looking ahead, we have an update to a story we first shared as breaking news. The man accused of shooting 2 women and a child in South Nashville before ending his own life has been identified. Where we stand in this investigation.
And Tennessee's education commissioner is facing some hard questions about the school choice program that's trying to work its way through. Will this program affect how public schools...
Watch live TV like Jimmy Butler.
Where are you going? To cut the cord.
This Fox 17 This Morning newscast is sponsored by U.S. Pest Protection.
8:09 is the time. State lawmakers are asking tough questions to education leaders about the governor's proposed school choice program. Now, this program would use tax dollars to help send students from public schools to private schools. Now, during a hearing just yesterday, one House member had some pretty direct questions to the education commissioner, but the answers took a little while. Listen.
In the body of the fiscal note, it says, without limiting the annual number of participants, the liability to the state could grow significantly. Should all private school students receive a scholarship, the additional increase in state expenditures would be $551 million in fiscal year 25-26. That's just private school students. So my question to you, ma'am, is where does that money come from?
So thank you for that question, sir. It's a great question. The one thing that we know is that it will be subject to appropriation year after year. And that is controlled by you, the General Assembly.
So we're potentially creating a program and offering incentives or offering an entitlement program to folks that we may eventually not be able to fund. Is that what you're telling me?
Sir, the program is subject to your appropriations. You control those appropriations.
Okay, so they went on to say that there is a Senate bill of this Senate version of this bill that is also working its way through the legislature, and it too is getting lots and lots of questions. At some point, they'll have to bring both bills together and then have more questions, more hearings before something is finally presented for a full vote. Now, Crisis in the Classroom is Fox 17 News' commitment to exposing problems in our schools and finding solutions. If you have a story idea, you want to send us an email at news@fox17.com, or you can call our tip line, leave a message, 266-4149.
8:11 your time right now. A quick look at your forecast to get you up and get you moving here. And maybe you're having four legs follow you around when you're getting up and moving here. Our dog of the day, Samuel, sent in by Shay Taylor. Good day to get outside at any point for a dog walk. Morning a little crisp, but the afternoon beautiful. 61 degrees at noon, 69 degrees at 3 p.m. It's just the next couple of hours. You can see it right here in the more condensed morning version of it. By the time we get to 11 o'clock, I boosted the temperatures up here. We're going to be in the upper 50s already and well into the 60s by 1 p.m. Take a look at your 3 p.m. It'll be 69 degrees. The big question always is, and people will walk up to me, we're at Kroger just shopping around. How can I get my dog on TV? It's this easy. If you're watching Dog of the Day, all you got to do is go to Facebook. Meteorologist Greg Bobus, find that pinned post, give us your pup's name. If you want to share where you guys are from, or if you have a fun story about your dog, you can see them right here on Fox 17 News this morning every day.
Up next, we'll tell you about your circular traffic on I-24 near Briley Parkway. You can see where THP is still on the shoulder with one particular car. We're going to tell you about the best ways to steer clear. Plus, if you're fed up with crime in their local...
We've been breathing this.
Lots of people don't realize that mold feeds off moisture in their crawl space. But don't worry, we got this.
At AFS, we'll do a home inspection for free.
I've lived in this neighborhood off and on since 2019, and it's all kinds of stuff going on here all the time.
All kinds of stuff going on all the time. In Operation Crime and Justice, we're talking about repeat offenders arrested over the weekend in connection with the South Nashville robbery in broad daylight. Now, local neighbors are saying they are fed up. Police say 27-year-old Juliet Shields, showing you photos here, and 19-year-old Shamarian Shields robbed a man at gunpoint late Saturday afternoon. Something to note is that both of those men that we showed you have lengthy records. Their charges dating back several years, in fact. This time, though, police say they held the man at gunpoint in the parking lot of an apartment complex off Twin Oaks Drive. Those responsible took off with the victim's belongings.
Well, now local residents and local leaders say it is time to see some changes when it comes to handling repeat offenders.
So now my freedom somewhat is gone. I'm not free. I can't walk up and down this road now wondering, is somebody going to come up behind me or drive up on me?
Does that person have a record? If they do, and they've been before the court numerous times, that tells the whole story. That's their normal, and until they have an intervention, it's going to continue.
Now, both those men we were just telling you about are being held right now in the Metro Jail on a $75,000 bond. Julius is due in court this morning.
Got beef? Well, the community is coming together to back Roy Meat Service after a lawsuit has cost them reportedly more than $20,000. There is an East Nashville woman who is suing the restaurant and meat market next to her home because she says the smells are unbearable. We're explaining this story in more detail because the neighbor sued last January, but the Roy family has owned this business that we're showing you for about a decade. The case summary does identify the complainant as Natalie Castillo. Documents also show that she started complaining about the smell of meat back in June of 2021, about a year and a half before the lawsuit. Other community members say it is not fair and that this business is a staple in their community.
It's a neighborhood staple.
And I think it's very unfair to them to have to do that. You know, they've had this business, they do things for the community, and for people to just come in and put them through that is just wrong.
Well, Fox 17 News, we reached out to Natalie Castillo to hear about her complaints, but she deferred us to her attorney. As other close neighbors, they have began rallying together to help the business. They even set up this GoFundMe that's right behind us here, and as you can see, it is right now raising more than $28,000.
8:18 is the time. Want to check in on your forecast. Greg Bobus is here. Of course, the kiddos, a lot of them anyway, thousands and thousands of them on spring break, and perhaps they can start planning some of those outdoor activities here.
Absolutely. I mean, in every way, shape, and form. Every day going to be in the 70s, and I would say whether the outdoor activity is maybe just having some fun, maybe it's some sports, maybe it's just rallying up the troops for a bike ride, or maybe they want to earn a little money, or you just have a list of chores outside. Maybe helping you wash the car. You know, hey, any outdoor activity can go a long way when it comes to nice temperatures. So watch or wait. Here's how it's going to go down. Today and tomorrow, green lights, go for it. We are fine. Your Thursday, we're going to have a few on and off showers throughout the morning, afternoon, and pushing into the evening hours. Not raining every second of the day by any means, but definitely opening up that entire window of opportunity for a few showers that will be out there. And then the bigger chance for widespread rain is going to come on Friday in the forecast. And here you go. Here's your proof. Every bar showing you the better chance for rain. I've actually raised the ones here for Thursday a little bit since 4 o'clock this morning. There have been some developments in the forecast showing a little better chance to work into some rain Thursday. Then Friday, much more widespread. Here we go. This is your Thursday, which is your Tuesday going into Wednesday, and we're going to break down Thursday first, then we'll jump into Friday. Everything looks great today and tomorrow, sunny and 70s. The only place that might catch a brief shower or little downpour tomorrow is going to be through southern Kentucky, and that'll be in the afternoon toward the evening hours. Majority of us do stay dry. Here's Thursday morning. A little light greenish gray, meaning light rainfall to start. This is what we have to watch out for later in the day, though. That time frame between noon and 6 p.m., there could be 1 or 2 thunderstorms that pop up on the radar. Your Friday, however, this is waking up. I'll be tracking actively around this time on Friday. Showers and heavy downpours that move in. They will continue on and off throughout the afternoon hours, even into the evening. You can see how much more is on the radar for Friday, and it even goes up till midnight if you're south of I-40. When all said and done, 1 to 2 inches of rain before the end of the week.
Zero clear traffic out there this morning. Let's get to the very latest happening here on I-24. This is very close to Hickory Hollow Parkway in the Antioch area. We've got a crash that we just picked up over to the shoulder of the road. Once the trucks get out of the way, you may be able to see some of those flashing lights as authorities have arrived there on the scene. At some point, I predict they'll stop traffic and move the crash from the shoulder of the road with the barrier to the other side of the road where they've got some of the grass and other area to work on. Right now, you can try to take places like Murfreesboro Road as the best way to steer clear from that particular slowdown. We'll try to show you other areas of town as they become necessary to do coming up here a little bit later.
Well, listen, grocery prices just keep climbing higher and higher, but 2 Tennessee lawmakers are trying to lighten your burden. How they plan to end the state grocery tax permanently, that story just ahead.
And could the reign of King Henry be over in Nashville? Well, that certainly appears to be the case.
The trucking company and the insurance company are not concerned with the victim. I was worried about being able to pay my bills. I enjoyed you representing me because I knew I had to have the best.
All right, you hear the music. Hopefully we have your attention. New this Tuesday morning, the Tennessee Titans are reportedly going to be moving on from star running back Derrick Henry. The Associated Press says, yes, the Titans have come to terms with ex-Dallas Cowboys running back Tony Pollard. All right, well, while no deal can officially be made until Wednesday morning, an AP source says Pollard and the Titans, they have agreed to a 3-year deal worth $24 million. Pollard, by the way, ran more than 1,000 yards last season and scored 6 touchdowns. And we're also taking a look back at the Titans. They drafted Derrick Henry back in 2016, and this will be the first time that he will be entering free agency. We say all of this to now get to this point. We want to know what you think. Is Tony Pollard a good signing for the Titans? Take a look at your screen. Right now, 66.7% of you all say yes. Tony Pollard is a good sign for the Titans. There is still time for you to let us know what you think. Go to our Fox Nashville X account or head on over to our Fox Nashville Facebook page. We do want to check in now for this beautiful Tuesday forecast. This morning's sunrise, top notch.
Oh, 100%. And so will tomorrow's be top notch as well. I'm going to give you a good chance on your screen right there. You got a grill out back you've been itching to use for a while, but maybe you haven't because the temperature hasn't been quite there for you yet. I'm giving you your BBQ alert here. Taking a look. Your forecast, 69 degrees at 5 o'clock, 67 at 6, and 63 degrees at 7. So really the entire evening holds consistent in the 60s. Not much cloud cover, more sun than anything else, and not much of a breeze. Not a bad day to get out there. Or maybe even you're just the observer who has the lemonade while someone else is grilling. Any way you want to look at it, it's a good night for it. Looking at our camera over downtown Nashville, nothing happening, just like yesterday morning. Barely a cloud in the sky, but we are tracking rain for Thursday into Friday. 1 to 2 inches. Can't stress enough that Friday is the rainier day. Everything on Thursday, very hit and miss, morning, afternoon, and evening. But I do have one update to the forecast that came in here about the potential for thunderstorms on Thursday. We're going to break that new update down for you as soon as we get into our 8:30 half hour. Erica?
Greg, thank you. 8:26 is the time. Do want to check in for a crash reported right here. Busy brake check over in this area. This is I-24, Hickory Hollow Parkway, Antioch. Think over by the Tanger outlets. That is where this is happening. It's over on the left shoulder. It's not taking over any lanes of traffic, but it is right here causing a brake check. I'm not sharing any kind of detour as of right now. We're seeing how much of this area is going to be impacted. Police have arrived on the scene, so we're going to see how much time it takes to clear this. But again, Antioch, I-24, Hickory Hollow Parkway, just keep your eye out for this crash. Developing right now, Tennessee State House advancing a bill that would get rid of state and local grocery taxes. This story catching a lot of folks' attention. It is headed to the House Finance Subcommittee. Nashville Democrats, the representatives Afton Bain and Senator Charlene Oliver introducing the bill last November. Weeks ago, volunteers headed to grocery stores. Here are some photos from that event. They collected signatures in support of this bill. Well, the lawmakers say pairing the bill with corporate tax reform, that could help make up for lost revenue. Later today, Senator Oliver is presenting this particular bill to a Senate Finance Subcommittee. We'll be sure to share any updates tomorrow morning on Fox 17 News This Morning. Coming up, though, lawmakers debating a tax change that some are concerned would give big companies a tax break. So we asked the governor how his company could be involved. And right now we are taking a live look at the Nashville.
This guy is a maniac. Tonight at 8 on Fox 17.
This Fox 17 This Morning newscast is sponsored by Zander Insurance. You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
A call for change when it comes to sexual harassment. We're going to tell you who some state lawmakers want to put in charge of claims at the state legislature.
Waking up here, a live look at Lower Broadway, where we know things are going to be very active this week, given the fact we're in the 70s all week long. But Friday, if that's one of your days to go out, listen up. We have rain a good portion of the day.
And steer clear traffic updates. Checking on this crash over in Antioch, I-24, Hickory Hollow Parkway, how you can work around and steer clear. Thank you so much for waking up with us here for our final 30 minutes of Fox 17 News this Tuesday morning. I'm Erica Glover.
And I am Justin McFarland. Jen Waddell has the day off. Fox 17 News, of course, your only live and local news source with you from 7 until 9. We've got good news to report this morning when it comes to a 7-year-old girl who's been missing from her home for about a week. She has now been found safe and sound and now has also been reunited with her father after going missing.
Yeah, Fox 17 News' Karen Aguilar joining us with more information on her rescue.
Anthony Crum, Iris's dad, tells me he is relieved after the nightmare of his daughter missing for over a week is finally over. He talked to me on his cell phone in his car with Iris in the back seat, smiling from ear to ear. When I asked Iris how she was feeling, she said happy. Emotional video shows them being reunited on Sunday in Texas. You can see Iris running into her father's arms and him lovingly hugging her. They embrace for quite a while, and you can see the joy in her dad's eyes. The Rutherford County Sheriff's Office said they found Iris in a suburb of Houston, then arrested Iris's mom, Kayla Serrata, who does not have custody, and her husband, Ethan Serrata. Anthony tells me he's finally able to sleep with Iris back at his side.
Since she's been gone for the last 7 months, I have not had much sleep at all. You know, maybe 4 hours at a time. That's about it.
The Rutherford County Sheriff's Office says that Kayla and Ethan are facing multiple charges, including custodial interference and felony aggravated kidnapping. A hearing is set for Ethan's charges on May 13th at the General Sessions Court. Reporting in Murfreesboro, Karen Aguilar, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Karen, thank you. Now continuing coverage at the Capitol. There is a bill that would put the state attorney general in charge of sexual harassment complaints at the legislature.
Right now, those particular complaints are being investigated by the House and Senate members, and critics say that they've got to take the politics out of it.
Okay, well, the bill is sponsored by a rare combination of House members. Republican Representative Todd Warner of Chapel Hill and then Democrat Afton Bain of Nashville. They say they want to appoint an impartial liaison to the AG's office to handle claims like this from start to finish.
This bill will create transparency. It will create a fair process for the accused, but most of all, it will protect the victim.
This is a crucial step that is driven by a shared commitment to ensuring a transparent and impartial review process free from the influence of legislative leadership.
Now, it was last year when State Representative Scotty Campbell of Mountain City resigned after 2 interns accused him of sexual harassment. The investigation was done in secret, and members are not allowed to talk about their deliberations. Continuing on now with a bill that would eliminate the state business tax and allow companies to get nearly $2 billion worth of refunds.
Now Democrats say they have a better plan that wouldn't cost a dime, and they're now calling on Governor Lee to disclose how much his Lee company would get under the administration's bill. So we're getting some more updates. Right now, Tennessee companies pay a yearly tax on their net worth or the value to the property they own here, whichever is greater. Governor Lee wants to get rid of the property part, though, saying there's a potential conflict with the Commerce Clause in the U.S. Constitution, and a legal challenge could cost the state big time.
State and Senate Democrats are calling on an unprecedented corporate, or calling this whole thing an unprecedented corporate handout, and they are demanding to know if Governor Lee and his heating and air conditioning company, the Lee Company, would get any money back, and if so, how much?
The working families of Tennessee deserve to know whether or not Governor Bill Lee and his company or companies stand to financially benefit from his proposed franchise tax cut.
Now, the Senate Finance Committee is set to vote on the franchise tax bill a little bit later today.
We're going to check in now for your Tuesday forecast. Off to a chilly start, but that sun is coming out.
Oh, the sun is up and it's already doing its work here for us, little by little, gaining a few degrees each hour. But the ramp up really is going to happen after about 11 o'clock this morning, when we'll go from right around 54 degrees to 70 just a couple hours later. We'll call it great. That's what's new this morning for you. Rain chances still stay away until Thursday. Last chilly morning of the week. You woke up in the 30s. That's not happening again until next week. Tomorrow morning, you wake up right near 50. So sunglasses, winter coats only for the morning. That'll be in the back seat later on today. And you may even have the windows down driving around town. Nothing code red. Taking a look here, 37 sunny degrees. Enjoy yourself. Find a reason to get outside, no matter what that reason may be, even if it's just a little walk down the street or around the block. Take a look. Beautiful image of our ever-changing skyline. Gosh, if you've lived here for a few years, you know exactly what I mean. And if you are new to the Nashville area, you'll see those changes for yourself. Now, let's talk about lunchtime. I love talking about food. 57 degrees at 11 a.m., 61 at noon, 65 at 1 p.m. Like I said, really quick warm-up here of about 10 degrees in 2 hours, and it keeps going all the way up to 71 degrees. Here is your 7-day forecast. We'll give you the whole picture now, and then we'll hone in on the problem spots coming up in 5 minutes. 71 today, no problem there. 75 degrees tomorrow. Absolutely no problem there. 78 on Thursday. I've changed rain timing a little bit for Thursday. I've changed the potential for storms a little bit for Thursday since we talked even 45 minutes ago. And then Friday, we'll break that down hour by hour as well. You don't want to miss the update to Future Track.
8:37 is the time. Quick look outside for your steer clear traffic. This is going to be I-24 at Hickory Hollow Parkway. You can see their traffic getting by despite the fact we've got a crash over there on the shoulder of the road. We saw the Tennessee Highway Patrol over there a short time ago. It may be clear because I'm not seeing them anymore. So they may have gotten it off the shoulder. If so, that's great news. So no more need to steer clear in that area. We're good to go. Here's a look on 65 at Boers Lane down the Franklin area. Also looking clean down there from Williamson County. Keep in mind, spring break is in full effect right now across Metro Nashville. That takes a lot of people off the road.
Shoppers beware. The Clarksville Police Department issuing a warning on online scams, what you should be on the lookout for as you're shopping.
Also coming up,
$179 a month, or get 4.49% APR or $1,000 bonus cash. Visit your local Hyundai dealer today.
This Fox 17 This Morning newscast is sponsored by Eurostone.
8:40 is the time. As many parents and students are enjoying some time off, you may be looking to do a little spring shopping. Well, if you do, the Clarksville Police Department is issuing a warning this morning. They say authorities have received an influx of calls about online shopping scams. Places like Facebook Marketplace and other social media platforms can be used in order to buy and sell or even trade items. However, it can also be very useful for scammers out there looking to get money and goods out of people. So a reminder, when you're scrolling through some of your favorite social media sites, be careful out there. You never know when a scammer is at work. Nashville's iconic chocolate shop is now jumping on March Madness and that big bandwagon to celebrate their favorite sweet treats. We're talking about the Goo Goo Clusters. They have now launched the inaugural challenge named the Goo Goo Madness. It is going to be a premium showdown, and the challenge invites fans to vote for their favorite collaborations, like the Loveless Cafe Biscuits and Jam, or the Puckett's Deep Fried Brownie Sundae, and a lot more. Now, fans can vote each Monday in March. We've got a link to how you can jump in on this at fox17.com. Just search Goo Goo Madness.
All right. Well, listen to this. This winter was reportedly the warmest on record. That's according to NOAA. And the records do date back to the late 1800s. So we're talking with Greg and looking at these numbers closer. I mean, do you agree?
I mean, this is one of those things where this isn't like a scientific opinion. This is just actual, factual. Came in, that's the number on the thermometer, and you average them out. So yeah, I mean, this has been a trend for a while now. And experts say that this past December was a full 7 degrees above average.
Oof.
And February finished as the 3rd warmest on record. And that's just from gathering the actual physical numbers and putting them together.
Yeah, I said earlier, well, it certainly felt colder to me, but then you talked about this summer, and we're going to see, you know, back-to-back 90 days.
See,
and
that's
then you'll
where the catch comes in.
You'll be feeling like, oh, okay, I agree.
Yeah, because right now we're like, oh, 30s, but 70 feels fantastic.
Yes.
But then when you have 50, 90-degree days. Oh yeah, we get that sometimes, or we get that many if you're brand new here, so keep that in mind. So right now, let's all just rally together and enjoy what we have happening the next 4 days. Today, tomorrow, even Thursday into Friday, 70-degree high temperatures. These bars for Thursday have gone up slightly. Morning into the afternoon, there'll be a chance for a few pop-up showers. We'll get a break. We'll get a little sun, and then toward late afternoon and evening, the potential for a thunderstorm or two cannot be ruled out. The rainmaker that we have to watch and talk about when it comes to rainfall totals, that's Friday. And that's also going to be Friday morning, afternoon, and evening. Both days have the potential for rain. This is by far the rainier of the two going into Friday. We'll look at that on Future Track. We'll piece both days together hour by hour to work through it, and then talk about colder temperatures, more seasonable, we'll say, for the upcoming weekend.
Well, coming up next, we've got the latest with your steer clear traffic at I-24 at Waldron Road and other parts of the Miss-8 as well. Plus the Missouri
Fire Instant Games. Find them today at your nearest Tennessee Lottery retailer. Only from the Tennessee Lottery. Game-changing fun.
8:46 is the time. It's been 4 days now since a 22-year-old college student was last seen walking out of a bar on Broadway.
Yeah, so Riley Strain has not been seen since late Friday night. His family, though, desperately trying to find him, of course, and their search efforts continuing this Tuesday morning.
Fox 17 News' Kelly Avellino spoke with his family members just yesterday, and Kelly, I'm sure they're devastated. They want to find him very badly.
Absolutely. It's been just a harrowing 4 days now. He went missing late Friday night. I can tell you Riley is a senior finance major at the University of Missouri. He came here on for his fraternity on a convention. Now, Riley did have too much to drink at Luke Bryan's bar Friday night, staff asking him to leave. There was no hostility there. When he did leave, he told friends he'd walk back to their hotel about 5 blocks away. Now, he was alone. Unfortunately, his phone tracking shows that he went in the exact opposite direction here, leading him to the area by Public Square Park near the river. His phone pinging from 2 different apps there and Verizon's cell phone tower that was nearest to that location as well, about a half an hour later. Then nothing. His phone has not been active since. Riley's family driving 6 hours to Nashville immediately the next day to help in the search. They told us what it would mean to find him.
Everything.
Mean the world. We need him back.
He's my baby.
Now, Metro Police and the family have combed downtown parking areas, garages, by the river, hospitals. No sign of him at this point.
My heart just breaks for this family. What is going to happen today with the search efforts? Is there surveillance video? What are we talking about?
That's right. They are in the process, detectives, of looking through all of the surveillance video. There's a whole lot we know on Broadway and in downtown. I hear the family is going to be on the water today, potentially. Detectives still waiting on court documents to be able to look through Riley's bank card statements, if he used his bank card anywhere, as well as his Apple Watch. So still a lot to keep tabs on.
Can we also mention he's very tall?
He is. He's the missing notice said 6'5". His family says 6'7". So he is very tall, slim. So he should stand out. If you see him, please call police immediately.
All right. Certainly hoping for the best in this situation. Kelly Avellino, thank you so much. Well, let's get to your weather forecast at 8:49. Greg Pope is standing by with a look at your Code Red weather.
And we're going to fast forward here to what happens as far as rain goes. Today, in a nutshell, 71 degrees, sunny. We're a little cool right now. We get better, and it happens quickly. Now, tomorrow, early morning hours through noon. If you are in southern Kentucky, there will be a few pop-up little showers and weak thunderstorms that do roll through. Not everyone gets the rain, and if you get south of the state line, not much action that we have to worry about. Little cloud cover here and there, temps in the middle 70s. Overall, a really good looking Wednesday. Taking a look at Thursday, the game changes. We get closer to our next bigger weather maker that will flip-flop our temperatures. 9 a.m., a few isolated rain showers move in, and that will continue through the afternoon. We get a little breakage in the cloud cover. We'll get a little sun before sunset. We're not anticipating severe weather, but one of those storms that rolls through could give us some heavy rainfall at times and definitely a little bit of wind. Most of our rain comes down Friday. 8 a.m., wake up with us. We'll work you through it because there will be rain on the radar as you are waking up Friday morning, and that will be consistent into the afternoon. This is noon. Noon goes into 3 and 4 o'clock. Scattered, but much more coverage on the radar for Friday. Not raining every hour, but much more across all of the viewing area. Taking a look here, after 4 p.m., a pivot down toward the south. I-40 on south, almost the cutoff line for the best chance for rain the second half of your Friday. We'll dry out in time for the weekend. Problem with that is we'll get colder on the backside of that rain. 71 today, 75 degrees tomorrow, 70 on that pivotal day Friday when the rain moves in, the wind picks up, and then we stay cooler. 66 on Saturday, 61 on Sunday, and even colder than that. Back to the 30s Sunday night and only low 50s for highs on Monday of next week.
Still clear traffic for you this morning at 8:50. Let's take a quick look outside. This is going to be I-24 Hickory Hollow Parkway, making that drive through the Antioch area. We were dealing with that crash from a little bit earlier in the morning. We believe that crash has now cleared. It was over there on the shoulder against the barrier, so they have removed it now. Traffic still a little slow around the curve there, but nothing out of the ordinary. Let's take a quick look here at your drive times. It's 28 minutes in from Franklin this morning, 53 in from Murfreesboro, 30 minutes in from Hendersonville as you come down from Sumter County. We'll continue to watch the roads over the next few minutes. If something big pops up, we'll be sure to let you know. Well, did you know that 2/3 of fourth graders across the United States struggle to read at grade level? That is why Fox 17 and our parent company, Sinclair Broadcast, are partnering up with Reading is Fundamental to support children's literacy.
To help out, go ahead and scan the QR code on your screen. You probably already have your phone in your hand anyway. That way you can participate in our virtual book drive.
Well, a tough story to share, but we do have an update from the South Nashville area. Now that Metro Police have identified the man accused of shooting 2 women and a child before taking his own life. We've got an update on the victim's condition up next.
she's a very bubbly, outgoing, smart, respectful, kind, loving person.
Well, the Amber Alert is over after more than
40 years, and we've been experts at showers for just as long. Get yours today. Bathfitter, it just fits. Go to bathfitter.com to book your free consultation.
Right now, we have a final update on the story we brought you as breaking news. Metro Police have now identified the man accused of shooting 2 women and a child in South Nashville before ultimately ending his own life.
Police say the gunman was 25-year-old Emilio Ramirez Lopez, who is responsible for the shooting. They say Lopez shot his 31-year-old ex-girlfriend and her 7-year-old son, and the ex-girlfriend's 21-year-old cousin, who was also there. We were told that the girlfriend remains, or the ex-girlfriend in this case, remains in critical condition this morning. Her son and the 21-year-old woman are also doing okay. The investigation is still ongoing.
Now to a story that has gained so much attention across the mid-state. 7-year-old Iris Crum, safe and sound. Look at this video of their reunion with her father. You can see Iris running into his arms, giving him a big hug. This was Sunday near Houston, Texas. The Rutherford County Sheriff's Office says they found Iris in a suburb outside of Houston, and then they arrested her mom, Kayla Zareta, who does not have custody, as well as the stepfather, Ethan Zareta. They are now facing multiple charges, both of them, including custodial interference and felony aggravated kidnapping.
Well, we have been working around the clock to get more answers as authorities are searching for a 22-year-old college student. We're talking about Riley Strands. His friends and family says that he left Luke Bryan's bar just off of 3rd Avenue under the influence. Bartenders have also related that he was so intoxicated that he can barely pay his tab. He told his friends that he was going to go back to the hotel a few blocks away, but he never made it.
Well, we also know his cell phone last pinged near Public Square Park. Look at this map. It's close to the river around Woodland and Gay Streets. Metro Police working on getting surveillance video. We heard from Kelly Avellino, our investigative reporter. But meanwhile, if you have any information, his family says he is 6 feet, 7 inches tall. Okay, so you could recognize him very easily. We have more information on our website. But of course, if you have any information, let police know.
Let's talk to Greg. Quick last look at the forecast here.
Let's do it. Yeah, bright sunshine. You can already see it right here over Lower Broadway, and that's going to be the case the entire day. Think about yesterday, how it started cold and got nice and warm gradually throughout the afternoon. Today, even warmer than yesterday. We're going to aim for 71 degrees for the afternoon high. Tomorrow, 75. The best part of tomorrow, I know 75 sounds great, but you're not going to wake up with temperatures in the 30s. You'll wake up closer to 50. So the day is warm from start to finish, and then 50s overnight Wednesday into Thursday again. There will be a few showers that we have to work through on Thursday. Not rain for everyone, and definitely not all the time for those who get it. Friday is the much rainier day. On and off, good, bad.